Good morning, everybody. It's April the 1st. New month has started. Blessings to Psalms 146. Yeah, you're first. um, Blessings to Bean Juice. Blessings D Macro. I know it's a month. It's April already. It's the fourth month of the year. And just the other day, we were doing our January goal setting, and I'm like, shoot, what have I accomplished? There's a few things that I should have been working on already that I'm literally dragging my feet on. So I'm gonna have to get that done this week because I don't like that. Hey, blessings to Miss Renaissance Grandma. Okay, you're gonna be in the bushes, no problem. Blessings to Miss AKA Lady. Good to see you. Um, so yeah, I gotta get some stuff done. Grown up stuff, adulting. Blessings, CC's, Texas Garden. Yeah, adult stuff. There's some forms I should have filled out. I need to fill them out. I need to get photographs done. ID, not passport, but like similar to passport pictures. Um, what else? Tax, all kind of stuff got to get done. Just got to get it done. Today I'm drinking my green tea. Well, every day I've been drinking green tea lately, trying to keep my blood pressure and my anthocyanins and all the good stuff in my body and all the bad stuff out. So I am boiling the kettle again. You might hear it boiling in because it's very loud. So I can top up the cup with some more hot water a little later. So how's everyone doing today? It's nice and sunny today, thank God. It's still cold over here, but I like when it's sunny. At least you can feel that vibe. You can feel like, yeah, yesterday was overcast. I don't want to complain because I don't control the weather, but when it's overcast, it's kind of like, ugh. So yesterday was kind of hard to get up out of bed on time because I'm like, I don't see the sun yet. But sometimes you just got to get on up. Let me just check the live stream on my phone to make sure that it's smooth. 1 second here. Because on mine it's always generally slow, but it should be fine. Give me a second. Okay, seems to be streaming good. Blessings, Gina versus Gina. I see you on my cell phone. Oh, there you are now. It's delay. Dealing with. Okay, I'm gonna look at my phone because it's a bit faster on my phone. Cece's dealing with a toothache. Face is swollen on one side. I hate toothaches. The smallest things cause the most amount of pain and discomfort. Isn't that, stubbing your little toe, things like that. Oh my God, it hurts. Hey, blessings to Fifi's journey. Yeah, it's just, ugh. I was feeling something funny in my tooth. They said I had a cavity months ago, and they're going to schedule a filling. They haven't called me yet. So I have to wonder, was there really something there, or was it like forming and it wasn't really there yet? And they want to just go in my, they love to drill in my mouth. I said, no. So I haven't eaten anything sweet in a long while. Well, cookies here and there, but not really sweet ones. And I have to make sure that I'm brushing, multiple times a day and flossing because I don't want to go back to get more fillings. I actually get more anxious now the older that I am than when before. When I hear that drill, it's literally like it's in your brain. And she don't play music. Why can't dentists play music to kind of calm people down? Put on some nice. Did she used to play music? I think she used to play music. And then she's talking to me and wants an answer to the question. You're in my mouth. I don't think I can really have a conversation with you. Anyways, blessings to Lark's homesteading. Good to see you. And I think I got everybody. Okay. So today, I don't even know what I'm talking about today. I'm all over the place today. This week I was feeling kind of and then I realized now why I was feeling It was more like a heaviness. I just said like a dreariness. Oh, I hate that drill noise. Oh my God. Right. It literally, I go there calm, but as soon as I hear that high pitch frequency, my heart, it's not a good feeling. But my friend messaged me yesterday. She created a group in this chat forum, I guess, for all her close friends and to let us know that things are declining. She's a primary caregiver. Things are declining and basically there's not much time left. So that's probably why I was feeling. She said this week it's significantly declined and very quickly. So I'm thinking that that's why I was kind of feeling And I drove by her house a couple of times because it's passing where some of the stores I have to go to, and I just looked and see her cars there, and you send a positive word out, but I didn't go over and stop by because blessings, Erica. I didn't stop by. People are going through enough, and you can be a friend from a distance sometimes. So yeah, so now it's getting it's the end of the end of life care. She's at the end of it. So I'm waiting for the update, and then I'll just head over to the house at that point. I'll go over and support her then. But right now, her and her sister are doing the primary caregiving. The grandchildren might be coming over and other people. So I'll drop off a fruit platter, but I'm not gonna go over yet because some people, not her, but some people like it to be like family only, immediate family only. So I'll just pop in, drop off some fruit platter because I'm sure they're not really eating, and then just leave it like that. But yeah, that's what's happening. So then all this week, I did not feel like, even before this week, I said from before I'm gonna scale back my garden, and I'm sticking to that for the most part. I am gonna plant a lot of variety because I took seeds from the library, and I want to donate as much seeds back to the library program as possible because I want people to have access to growing their own food. And people who patronize the library patronize for a reason. They want to get books for free. They want to have resources and stuff. And to me, that's like the first step. Like they're actually seeking out knowledge and seeking out information. So if that's what they're doing, I can donate whatever I feel like donating in terms of types of plants or whatever they ask for to to grow their own food. So I don't have to give somebody seeds per se, which I've done in the past. And I don't think there hasn't been that much results from that. Like I do give people seeds, I give people seedlings. But when you think about the statistics of it, I don't think it's as productive as giving to the library and letting people who actually are serious about growing have access to the resources. So I'm gonna do that this year. I'll give to a few people that I know actually grow food, especially when they don't get, like, I have certain tomatoes that they may not have. I'll give them like two plants, and then they know how to pop the suckers off. But yeah, that's just She's asking Erica if she slept well. Erica's like, mm-hmm. Great. Well, yeah, you got to give back. So I think this is a good way to give back as people who are seeking out the seeds, they may not plant, but I'm hoping that they will, and that it'll multiply the exposure of these plants through the province, well, through the city at least. There's some things that I've gotten from you all, some seeds. Thank God for you guys who sent me seeds, I know the shipping's not cheap, but you sent me seeds and sent me things that I haven't seen really here, and I can now grow them here and share those seeds with other people. So it's impacting not just me, it's impacting other people. Let me see what my eyes are a bit doing the same thing here. So it's gonna go donate a variety of seeds as soon as the kids go back to school. That way I can take the time. Yeah, exactly. I need to sort them out too. So um I'm gonna definitely give back that way. I wasn't gonna grow like bell peppers, but I think I am because bell peppers produce a lot of seeds. So I have a couple of varieties that um I took from the organic produce from Costco, but I've never seen the seeds here. I'm gonna pop some of those in and grow them. But I haven't really been dropping seeds for the outdoor garden. I'm like, it's April. Oh my goodness. I should have, like, I have a whole spreadsheet with the schedule of when to plant, and a lot of stuff should have been planted on March the 10th, and it's April the 1st, and I haven't planted them. I haven't felt like it. I've been feeling kind of like, I don't know. I am motivated, but I haven't feeling motivated enough, obviously. But I've dropped a lot of indoor seeds. This hydroponics got me going. Um, and my romaine lettuces, it was the picture I put up or the video. It's like double the size of that. Literally every day I get up and she's just like bigger, 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 and she's shading out the other plants. So I'm gonna harvest her soon. I was gonna take off the leaves, but I think I'm gonna just harvest the whole romaine lettuce and then just pop in another seed because I have two more behind her growing up, and I have Paris Island. Anyways, back to the seeds. So I haven't been dropping seeds. I've gone to the parents' house, dropped some seeds there. Their hydroponics is going well. I dropped some outdoor seeds for them, and I have to force them to keep an eye on it because I'm not doing their seeds this year. Not because I can't do it, but because I want them to know how much work goes into it and to really take some more ownership of it. That will free me up to do some other things, which is hydroponics and other things here, and the cluck clucks, which are coming this week. And just to see how, so there's more of us who know how to do it. So that way we can work together. That's part and parcel of prepping. You can't have one person knowing everything. They can be the expert at it, but I think other people need to know how to do something, how to run the equipment, how to, check for the pH, how to put the fertilizer in the hydroponics, how to see if the leaves are yellow, all the different things, yellowing, deal with gnats, deal with, infestations. If more of us know how to do it in our collective, then it makes the work a little easier, in my opinion. But I think most people can agree to that. Then it's not so much pressure onto me. You can type hashtag urban for those who don't know. You can drop your link and type the weather as well in the chat. The macro just showed you there. And so it's 12 degrees. Yeah, Buffalo's the same as us pretty much. So 12 degrees. So I need to get myself going because I planted some eggplant yesterday. I planted 3 kinds, 4 of each. 2 that were mine, 1 from the library seedling. And I've never harvested eggplant seeds though, to be honest. So I guess it's like you have to kind of cut the middle out like a cucumber. And so I'll do that when it comes. But I haven't planted very much. I hope you guys have, and you're not following my example, but I haven't planted that much for the outdoor garden yet. And I am growing though. So I am growing, as you guys can see, the indoor garden is popping. The raccoon dug up I must be the raccoon, dug up my front lawn. That's why I can't have grass. They won't let me be great. All you people who love your lawns and are lawn people, yeah. I drop seeds. I have a whole bag of seeds. I'm gonna drop some more seeds. And then before you know it, the grass is gonna look good. And then I'm gonna seed like 10 more holes. They just won't let me be great. The backyard, I've been focusing this week. I'm gonna drop a video. I'm gonna do a video today because it's sunny to show you guys physically, not just telling you, the greens in the back that I left all winter long, that I covered with fleece and just left. I didn't harvest them. I kind of got lazy. I was going to harvest them in November, then I never got around to it. Some of them are looking good. Some of them look real good. So I'm going to take a video to show you how they look in a cold climate 5B, 6A, that leaving your cabbages and kohlrabi outdoors, they will still grow and survive. The leaves look fantastic, and most of them. And the kale is kind of flattened down, I guess, from the heavy weight of the fleece that was covered with snow. So they kind of weighted down, but the leaves are looking good. So I'm going to record that today and probably drop it tomorrow or Monday because it's not going to be a long video to show you like they look really good. So you can grow those things. Good morning, Lashes, blessings. You can grow these things. And did I say hi to Miss D's Harleywood? Good morning to you. I don't think I said hi to you. They're looking good and they're in a raised bed. The only ones that did not survive were the ones on my veranda that were in containers. They were left there too long. In January, I should have started harvesting them. But I think the real problem was the wind. That side gets a lot of the certain angle of wind and it just hits the veranda and there's nowhere for the wind to go. So they had to absorb all that wind chill. So I cut them all off. My Brussels sprouts were the size of peas. So I just cut them all off the plants and they're in the compost. And this week we're getting ready for the cluck clucks. They're coming Tuesday or Wednesday. And yeah, it's not finished. I'm scrambling around. People are supposed to help. I message them, call them. Sometimes they don't get back. So my dad's doing the building, and that means my sister has to help because he shouldn't be out there doing that by himself at his age. So it's a whole thing. And it's my own fault because I went to the place and I got the chicken math hit me before I even had chickens. The chicken math hit me, and I said a number that I shouldn't have said. I should have said the number that we agreed upon that we could handle, and I went and doubled the number, and now I'm scrambling around trying to get room for them to even roost. They're gonna have to all squeeze up in a one little box for now because the other box it has to be attached and painted. You know, will they? Oh, they're eggs. They're well. I got 3 species. 2 of them are multi-purpose birds. So if if they start giving me attitude, they know where they're gonna go. So yeah, 2 of them are dual purpose, and the other ones are egg, like high producing egg layers. Yeah, I went too far, so now I'm scrambling around, and I thought April was enough time when I ordered them. Like I think it was January, December. The orders were open. I probably should have picked May because it just got warm now, and to work outside and be cutting wood and painting outside in the cold, it's uncomfortable. And it's not even that cold, but it's still cold. Sorry, someone's messaging me. Let me just make sure it's not okay. Chicken pot pies. Yeah, so I don't like being unprepared like this, but man. So we're scrambling around trying to get everything ready. I don't have the outdoor extended run area. Um, I've been shopping around. Now they want to build something. My dad wants to build. I said, no, 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 no. We're not building nothing. We're gonna buy a. Hey, Miss Shirley. Oh, Miss Shirley's in, and I saw you guys at the on unbiased video, enjoying your drinks and sitting down at the Soil Family Expo. They're having a blast. I see unbiased showing us the different people that we haven't met there. We saw Soil Sister and stuff. But anyways, I digress. But have fun. You guys are having fun. Um yeah. So the outdoor playpen, I want to get a dog kennel with a roof that already has a roof. I don't want to build nothing. I want something that I can just pop up and pop down if need be. If I have to relocate, I can just pop it down and then pop it back up at the new place. Building something is so permanent. So permanent. And I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna get one of those this week. And my lawn is clay, so I know it's gonna get muddy, but it really is muddy. So I'm gonna have to put down some cardboard out there until I can get the pine pellets because it's very muddy. And from my research, the sand is not going to do well out there. It's going to make it clumpy and it's not going to be good. So I'm working on that. I will get a video of when they arrive, but I'm going to upload that for the members only first. And then after a little while, then I'll make it public. But I'm going to give that to those previews to the members. But this week is the week, guys. I'm scrambling around. They surely had to recover. Yep, dancing away. I see people. So check out those videos, guys. I think Sifting Some Soil dropped a video with her there, and Shirley, it's not Shirley, Cheryl Faulkner, and then Miss Shirley is there. I see Miss T with the T is there. I saw Unbiased. She did a video. I saw a whole bunch of people. I saw J3GS Farms. She calls him her papa. He's there. A few other people. I can't remember their name. I know Sunday Backyard was there. Obviously, Black Tropical is there. Miss Andale is there. They're part of the committee. Who else did I see in the videos? I didn't see Sunshine. I know she's on her way there. Spoon and Sunshine. I don't know if she's there yet. I haven't seen Hudson drop a video that she's there yet, but maybe she's there by now. Quite a few people is there having a good old time. So I'm glad everyone's there. Oh, okay. I didn't see Tarsha. Maybe I did see her, but I didn't recognize her. There. Okay, so maybe that was Tarsha. Because I was watching it, but I was getting ready, so I wasn't staring at the screen. But okay, but I know Tarsha's a part of it. I haven't seen. I don't know. Is Lioncrest? I know I haven't seen Lioncrest online in a while, but Lioncrest I think was supposed to be going. I haven't seen him, so I don't know. He was there last year. I know the Hoodstead is there because I watched her shorts. Her and her mom are there on the way there. I don't know if she brought with her this year um Homestead in the Hood because she they went together last year. Oh, she's there. Okay, Spoon and Sunshine is there. I know I saw a clip of short with them. They're on their way. Um, oh, Lioncrest. Okay, because I know he was there last year. Did a lovely video, so I was assuming he was gonna be there. But yeah, it looks like a good old time. I see the band playing and the dancing, and I see them getting their liquor. Everyone's getting their liquor, and um, yeah. So that's good. Lioncrest not coming. Oh, he's not coming this year. Okay, all right. Um, but yeah. But yeah, hopefully everyone's having a good time. I see Gita talking about the storm with Psalms. Some storms and stuff is coming. We got some wind and stuff, but thank God I don't see anything happening today. It seems to be calm, but the wind was rough. And you know what I noticed? Sidebar again, I'm all over the place, but we were outside working in my backyard to get the chicken coop done. Thank God I'm putting it in a building. It's going to be within a building. We looked up to the sky because we're looking at the sky, like, oh, look how clear the sky is. You can see, you can see the moon even in the daylight. And me and my dad and my sister were like, what are those three birds? Like, not even birds, like way, way, way up in the sky, like a plane, like almost like it's as high as a plane would be. And they are three. I know I have hawks. I've seen hawks. I've seen chicken hawks. I've seen, like, I guess we would call a falcon. We call it John Crow, but it's not really a John Crow. Um, some kind of predatorial bird. And there were three of them floating around in the sky. And I'm thinking, I wasn't necessarily going to get a roof on the outdoor run, but thank God I'm getting a roof. Um, because yeah, what type of seeds am I going to drop in April? I'm going to call them vultures, but they're probably not vultures because there's different species. I think we called vultures John Crow. So everything that's predatory, Jamaicans say, oh, a John Crow. It's not a John Crow. It could be a chicken hawk. It could be a fowl. It could be a falcon, a falcon. It could be a hawk. It could be an eagle. And to me, they look like eagles ish. And I've seen them when they fly lower, and their wingspan ain't no joke. So if you have a small dog, you better keep that eye on that dog because that dog will be gone. Oh, you're driving. Okay, Erica, be safe. Yeah, there's different types. So they call everything John Crow, and it's not a John Crow. Anyways, there's three of them flying in the air. So if you don't think you have predatorial birds, you better start sitting out there when you're gardening and looking up in the sky. Because if we didn't actually tilt our head up and start looking at the sky, we wouldn't have seen them because they're not really in eye shot. And I have to say, let me get my spreadsheet to show you what I'm growing this year to answer that question. 1 second. Hold on. Let me put off the camera. And no, I can't get that for you. That's not going to show. Okay, I'm going to show you the romaine lettuce. I'm just want to go get that sidebar. So you can hopefully it'll show on the camera with the background. And you can see the root structure. This root structure is crazy. Okay, so you can kind of see if I go like that. So this is the romaine lettuce. It's literally as big as my head, if you can see that. And then look at the root structure. Uh-oh, I'm gonna have to rinse off the roots now because it touched the peat pellets. That's the root structure. That is crazy. But that's as big as my head. Hold on, let me get a better. That's the romaine. Sorry, can't with the background. It's hard to show something. Okay, you can see it if I put that's how big the romaine lettuce is. So let me just go rinse off the roots because I just went and spoiled it now, and put it back. 1 second. Okay, back. Sorry about that intermission. But yeah, I want to show you guys because I'm not gonna do another video. I think I'm gonna eat that before I do another video. So maybe tomorrow I'm gonna either have a salad or I'm gonna have a like tacos with lettuce wraps instead. Yeah, the root system is strong. I almost lost it. So just in case anybody may have that experience, um let me just go back to the chat. I was having a problem one Friday. I was in Gina's live, and I was like, "Oh my god, what happened to my romaine? It's kind of like wilting all of a sudden." And Mike's chaotic goes, "It could be gnats in the roots because now that you've addressed the gnats, they're desperate and looking for somewhere to feed off of, and it could be that." So I took it out immediately, washed the roots with water, then I washed it with peroxide and water, cleaned out the roots, changed the water, put some more feed in the water, hydrogen peroxide in the water as well to disinfect anything. And I put a bit of mosquito bit water to kill any gnats that may have been lurking in there. And that popped right back up. So that seems to be a problem. Sometimes the roots are not really being allowed to survive. Something's attacking it. And you probably can't, hey, unicorn lady, you probably can't see it. So that's probably what happened, but it's been addressed. Thank God. I need to actually sit down and plan out what I'm gonna grow. Yeah, I like to plan things out because I don't want to have too many plants, and I always have too many. Even if though I plan, I always have too many plants and nowhere to put them. And last year, somebody gave me some of their old pots. Um, she was clearing out some old pots, and I took them. I'm gonna be buying some 5 gallon buckets this year and doing a self watering thing because I do find the watering takes a long time. So I'm gonna try that this year. And then I'm going to, from what I heard with that kind of technique, though, if you're going to do a self-watering 5 gallon bucket, you do have to maybe once a year, every 2 years, dump out all the soil and let it air out and let it, because it starts to hold, it becomes aerobic or aerobic. I forgot the word, but something like that. And it's just almost like it gets moldy. It locks in bacteria and stuff like that. So you have to make sure that you are dumping out the soil maybe in the fall, letting it sit out all winter. And it's actually good for lightning and thunderstorms to be able to access the soil because it puts an electric charge into your soil. If you guys didn't know that, I came to realize that that's what's happening. So when you have lightning and thundering, it's actually a good thing. You're actually electrically charging your soil and reactivating soil that may be dead. That's what nature does for us, but we don't even realize it. So back to what I'm planting this year. I'm trying to get myself hyped up because I'm not really hype. I was hype, but now I'm like, okay, I have to actually do the work. I have to actually work. And I think my focus has been on the chickens. So that's kind of what's, and the stress of like, oh my God, I'm not ready. I don't know what I'm doing. And then the stinking raccoon. And then I'm getting all the pests because I grow food. So this year, the person that was going to help me with the coop that didn't hasn't available, I'm going to make him build me the rest of the covers for the garden because I'm going to cover at least 80% of my crops. They're going to be covered with the boxes, the chicken wire. Some will be actually like the fine mesh because those white butterflies were getting through the chicken wire and laying their eggs anyways. So I'm going to be making sure that a lot more stuff is done, and I'm going to make him help me with my rain catchment system. Like it's not going to be optional. You're going to help me. Yeah, you're going to help me. So based on what I'm growing, so I have 3 types of eggplants. I have the mini eggplant. I don't even know what that looks like. It's just written on the envelope from the library. They don't give you a picture of it. So I don't know if it's a particular type. I don't know. That's part of the problem with people. If you're going to donate seeds, I'm going to make sure I have all the information on a card. I'm not sure if they want me to label each envelope or just give them one big envelope and then they break them down. I'm not sure, but I'm going to put as much information on there because days of germination and how many days to maturity. I have one pepper that I'm going to donate. I was given this pepper from a prize I won on YouTube, and it's the yellow Peru pepper that takes 100 days to mature. So I have to start that today. And I am going to donate some of the seeds to the library. I'm going to keep obviously some for myself. Everything I'm going to be keeping some for myself, but on top of that, donate to the library. So that needs to be said. People need to know it takes 100 days. You need to start them inside in the beginning of April. You can't be just, anyways, giving things willy nilly. So arugula, I started them indoors. I haven't gotten anything yet. I don't know what's wrong with the pH. I don't know what's going on, but they've germinated, died, like, so that's canceled. That was supposed to be for the herb garden challenge. That's canceled. Can't can't get an arugula this year. I don't know what's going on. Beets for sure, golden beets. And I just bought this year for the first time those swirly ones, Ryoga. Anyways, you know what I'm talking about. The seeds are over there. I'm not going to go over there and get them and bore you with that. But the pink and white swirly beets, and the usual Detroit red beets. Morning, G Mama. Beets. I'm going to be growing lots of beets. I like them for juicing, and it's good for iron. And I've always seemed to have an issue with ironish kind of issues. Plus blood pressure. It's good for the blood pressure. So I juice them. My aunt used to can them and pickle them. So maybe I should learn how to can them because it's a good side dish with a meal just to have a couple of beets. Bok choy. I have two kinds of bok choy. I have the suzhou that I got from Baker Creek. That looks so beautiful, but then the aphids took it over. So I'm growing some inside. That got taken over with the aphid infestation. So those were all thrown out. And I'm growing a new bok choy, which is Mao Quang, some different one. I don't know. There's different kinds, but I'm trying a new one and traditional bok choy. And the suzhou, I'm going to start them indoors for the outdoor garden, but I need to get that mosquito mesh. What can you do with the beet leaves? I eat the beet leaves like I do spinach. I saute them with Swiss chard. I don't make greens that are just the green. Like if I'm making Swiss chard, I'm not just eating Swiss chard. I'm taking a couple of beet leaves. I juice the beet leaves as well too, and I also saute them with Swiss chard, mustard greens, anything. I just cut them all up together and cook them together. So I don't really make one kind. I make greens that are just a multi mixture of greens. I also finely slice the beet leaves and I'll add them to my salad. Yeah, you can use them in green juice, but you can use them in your beet juice because the beets are so potent with the purple color that the juice is going to be purple. The whole drink is going to be purple. Once you put the Detroit beets in there, your whole drink is going to be purple. I don't care if you put yellow stuff in there, your drink is going to be purple. So but yeah, I use the leaves for juicing. I use the leaves for salads, but you have to be careful. Well, maybe this doesn't apply to you, but I've been noticing lately, I've been seeing a lot of leaf miners in my leaves. So when you see those like almost like road tracks in your leaves, that's a leaf miner. So if you see that, don't think that you can eat the leaf if you want, but you're eating the leaf miner. So I usually cut those parts out. I'm going to start spraying my leaves more. I've never had an issue with that until last year. Spider mites and leaf miners all up in my beet leaves, all up in my plants. Broccoli, I'm not sure if I'm going to plant broccoli. I had that purple cauliflower which was beautiful last year and I might buy it again. I don't have the seeds for the purple cauliflower and I didn't let it go to seed. I actually ate it. So, I'm thinking, I don't know if it's worth me waiting for a broccoli to go to head. I don't think it's worth my time. If I had a longer season, maybe, but I could do it. But I think I'm going to do collard greens and cabbages. I'll do the cauliflower just because I like the pretty purple color, but the broccoli, I'm not sure. I might do it, but it's like I'm just kind of up and down right now. I may just do it just to do it, just as a trap crop, or because I want to add other distractions for these groundhogs, but not because I really want it. Leaf miners are annoying. Extra protein, exactly. But just some people, I know we eat bugs. We all eat bugs. We just don't see them. They're so small. Even if you wash your greens and you're eating some bugs, it's okay. We got bugs living inside of us, so it's all balanced. So yeah, kale and collard greens for sure. And me and dinosaur kale, I love dinosaur kale. I love the way it looks. I like it's just easier to harvest. And the curly kale I like, but there's too many places to bugs to hide. and the eggs to hide and the no. So I'm gonna go with this dinosaur kale this year, and the premier kale, which is like collard greens. It's more a big open leaf. I do have Casper kale that I planted last year from Baker Creek, and I think they died. I think they didn't make it out the seeding tray. I think they had what should I call it? They dampened off. So I will try the Casper kale this year as well. It's the black and white, not black, green and white, just so I can get some seeds from it and not be relying on it. So let me look at the chat. Sorry, I'm not watching. Hey, Mike's chaotic. Good to see you. You're awake. I know you're a night owl. You have to rewind to see my romaine. I showed my romaine, Mike. Rewind the video and see it on the screen and the root structure. Hey, Planter Garden, I see you there as well. Working, yes, working good. Everyone's working. I like when you guys are working and listening. Don't stop on my account. If I missed your question or comment, yes, Chioga, that's it. Chioga beets. Psalms. That's the one. I bought some seeds. I saw them there and I bought them. I'm going to be trying them out. Also, I have to do a video. The same video I'm going to record showing you my outdoor greens that survived the winter. They're still there and they're looking really good. I'm going to put a clip in there of my potatoes from last year. They have eyes that are 12 inches long. It's a little ball and then all these eyes. That's how you know they're organic. When your stuff sprouts, then that's annoying, but it's a good thing. That means your food is alive. So I'm going to have to plant those potatoes out as quickly as possible, maybe even now, and keep the tote in the garage because they're like literally the whole bag is eyes. It's pushing the bag open that they were in. I'm missing some comments, guys. I know I'm missing some stuff, so sorry. Give me a second here. You can harvest beet greens early. Leave enough greens to allow the plant to still pump. Yeah, exactly. That's what beets are a good 2-for-1 crop because you can eat the leaves and you can have the root crop. Same thing with radishes and turnips. I've never grown rutabagas, but it's the same thing. So if you guys have limited space, these are some of the plants that would make sense because you can get 2-for-1. Oh, your greenhouse blew off. Oh, you're in snow, Mike? Oh God. I don't have, thank God. I cannot. I know we're gonna get one more snowfall. I know it, but everything's been put outside that can handle it. And the plants are still in the garage that need to be in the garage. But yeah, I'm done. Oh gosh. That wind can take your whole little greenhouse and gone down the street with it. I can't take another snowfall. So that's what I'm doing. Kale, broccoli, I'm not too sure. Celery, yes. I have celery in the garage. I didn't harvest it. I didn't eat it. I took off all the bad bits and it's still there. The Utah celery. The pink one didn't make it. I didn't water it enough in the garage, to be honest. So this is part of why I need to get the garage cleaned out and get the grow tent so that things can get the care that they need. But to be honest, I found the celery very bitter in the container. Maybe that's how celery is supposed to taste, but it was very bitter. I wanted to dry it and use it to make celery salt or celery powder, but I didn't use it and I kind of wasted it. So I don't know if I'm going to grow celery. I may just grow it, but I have to do a better job of using the stuff because I didn't even use the celery. It was a waste of a pot, a waste of time, a waste of space. I didn't use it. And no animal actually ate it. So that may be a good thing. They didn't want it either. So maybe I should grow that this year and then get some for next year. She works in TV. Nobody could make it to the station. Okay, you're your wife. Okay. Cucumbers, yes, for sure. I already have a trellis and I actually got a few good cucumbers last year. And the same thing, guys, you tell me, they were very bitter. I don't know if it's just my taste buds, because it could be my taste buds that are the problem, not the actual food, but maybe I'm picking them too late. I don't know, but it tasted a bit bitter as well, the cucumber. Maybe it's my soil. I don't know. Carrots, yes, I'm going to grow. And again, I wasted the carrots. I had to pick them out the pot in the garage and throw them all out. They were all wrinkled up, like freeze drying looking. Didn't water them. My own fault. But the carrots did very well, and the carrot tops are excellent. I use them in salads, and I just chew on them and eat them. Corn, I will be growing corn, not to get a crop, just as a distraction for the squirrels and whatever else. So I like the way it looks. It makes the garden look lush, but I don't expect to actually eat corn. Last year I grew the yellow one from the dollar store, some standard corn. I'm sure you all know the name. If I get the seeds, I'm not going to bother. This year the dollar store had a white corn. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get some tips from you guys on the celery, because my celery just didn't. I probably need a deeper pot and more space around it. I don't know what happened, but I love celery. I juice a lot of celery. That's why I wanted to grow it, so I can juice my own. I have to probably just put some more nutrients in my soil. I think that's my problem. Container gardening, you do have to put fertilizer, but not chemicals. I'm going to be using alfalfa pellets this year. I'm going to follow Mike Chaotic. He said he learned from somebody you can grind up the dry beans and you can use that as fertilizer. I actually have some dry beans that I got from my parents' house that they're throwing out because I think it's full of weevils. So I took them. I'm going to boil them and give them to the chickens because they can eat the weevils. And I can probably grind that up and put that in the pots for the plants. Hopefully the weevils won't give me an infestation. I'm not sure. I don't think so, but use that. So I'm not throwing out those beans. I'm gonna use them in the garden and put that nutrients back in. And you gotta harvest at the right time. I was expecting the celery to get big like the store, and maybe that was the problem. It was not gonna get big like the store. It's gonna get big like how it's supposed to be big for my garden. And I took too long to harvest, and then it got bitter. But I don't mind bitter, but I don't want everything to taste bitter. Okay, no problem. She's listening in the background. Oh, you gone to the Menards? You and Mike with the Menards sales. I think there's gonna be nothing left in the stores. I wish I had a Menards here, man. Never mind, because that seems to be that's very affordable. 10 cents for a pack at one point. Okay, so back to what we're growing. And you guys can type in what you're growing, or when I mention something, say yeah. So eggplant. I'm growing the Black Beauty, the Siciliana, and the new mini one, which I don't know what species. I was growing endive in the indoor garden, and the aphids chewed that, like they sucked that dry. I popped them out and I threw them out recently. They came back. I sprayed them. They came back, and it's like, you know what? It's just I'm gonna start fresh. So that WIG unit, I had to drop my last video, even though I'm not really in it, but I'm dropping the last video so you can see the when it turned left and went down the hill, down the precipice, because the bugs match up my garden. Oh, you're getting more after the snowstorm to go fill up more containers, Mike. But you know what? You're growing your food. That's what. So I'm teasing you, but you're growing food. Endive. So I'm gonna drop some more endives indoors just to make my life easier. I want them to grow. My seed station is all set up. I'm gonna do a video on that once I get I want a piece of fabric to wrap around so that you don't see that ugly looking you know those car visors from the dollar store that to block the sun from your windshield visors. My station is wrapped with that so to reflect the light, but it looks like a hot mess. So once I wrap that up to make it look pretty, I'll do a video. And I got my lights from Amazon. I purchased a pack of 8 strip lights. They said they're grow lights, but they're not really, because they're just white lights. So whatever. I split them with my parents' house. So 4 here, 4 there. I have 2 per shelf. I set them up with zip ties because I'm not Bob the Builder. And it's doing its thing. So I'm going to start dropping some seeds now, which is probably why I didn't drop seeds before, because it really wasn't ready. And then I'm going to drop wheatgrass seeds. I have the wheatgrass trays to grow the wheatgrass, to grow fodder for the chickens, and to make wheatgrass shots for me. So that's what I'll do a video on that to show you how it looks. It makes it more enjoyable to drop seeds when it just looks, for me. The shelves are spacious. They have room for the whole tray. I could not fit the 72 tray on my other shelf. I had to turn it sideways. It was just, ugh. I can fit the heating mats. The lights are already attached. I have the other lights that came with the kit. I can mix and match. I have the pump going on the other. Like, it's just much more enjoyable to go and look at your plants, and everything is organized, everything is laid out properly, and you can do what you have to do effectively. $60 will buy you 900 packs of seeds. And can you imagine how much food that is? That can feed a whole community when you start thinking about how much food that is. $60 for seeds, and then you can produce maybe, let's say, $5,000 worth of food and more. That's priceless. I have an eggplant that germinated in one of my pots. I guess the variety will be surprise. Exactly. You didn't. I'm telling you, see some volunteers popping up all over the place, but I like that. So endive, I'm going to grow. I have some fennel growing. And what I noticed in the store, the fennel used to be huge like a grapefruit. When I went this week, the fennel was small like a plum, the bulb part. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe they're not importing them anymore. They're growing them in a greenhouse, but they were small. 5K lumen will grow a plant. Fine. I don't know if it mentions the lumen, but let me check since, we got nothing else to do. We're here live just hearing me chitter chatter. Give me a second. Let me check the Amazon, my last order, and I'll tell you. And it was affordable. That's why I bought it. Actually, it wasn't that affordable. I split it with my parents, to be honest. We split the cost. So I didn't want to have to buy 8 for myself. So my orders, let me see. LED grow light strips. That's what it says. And it markets it as grow lights. But let me see. Write a product review, order details. Full spectrum sunlight. I'm looking. Not lumen, the color temperature. Okay. Oh, they're not. Okay, color temperature. Let me see the lumen. Because the lumen is the brightness, right? Or Kelvin, whatever that is. It says here it's 3 feet, which was good for my shelf. It's 3 feet. T5 grow bars with individual switch for herbs. Hydroponic succulents, 8. Okay, that doesn't tell me nothing. Full spectrum sunlight white. Okay, yeah, we got that. And I think the price went up too. It looks like the price went up. LED, yeah. Energy efficient full spectrum. It says here light 5000K color temperature. So that seems to be what you said. Okay, color temperature. So that, and it says full spectrum by a professional ratio of red, blue, and green light. This ultra bright sunlight replacement appears soft white light to your eyes. 5,000, and it will make your plants highly ornamental, whatever that means. It says here 600 watts, but it only consumes 120 watts. You will not see effect on your bill even after turning them on for a long while. And they don't get hot. So anyways, I don't know. That's okay. That seems to be fine. I'm sidebarring a lot today, but so it go. Okay, let me see the chat. G Mama, check out G Mama too. She's got a lot of growing on over there too. Color temperature, okay, and then she has seeds everywhere, and I dropped some seeds by accident, so that also happens too. Oh, you're exhausted. Full spec, no problem. So, yeah, full spectrum, and it says 5,000 color, so those are okay. And I'm gonna see them check it out, but I still find the seedlings at my parents' house leggy. We put the tray right up under the light, like right under the light, and then we bring it down. And the radish is as about 6 inches long. So my radish is going to be just blowing in the wind. It's stringy. 300 watts can produce flowers also. Full spectrum is the best. Okay. So that's what I set up on the shelf. And so now I have literally 1, 2, I have 4 shelves that I can plant on and grow seeds. They all have lights. The bottom shelf on the ground, I don't like it because I have to bend down. So it's a bit difficult, like to be on the ground and be seeing stuff. I'm too old to be sitting on the ground, my legs crossed. Trust me, I can get down, but I can't get back up so easily. So I don't like it on the ground. But If I have to grow food, it doesn't matter. I'll put the bigger ones that have germinated onto the bottom to continue growing. That's what I'm going to do. And then maybe the wheatgrass can go on the bottom. But yeah. And then my hydroponics are on the ground because I removed the old table that was there, my side table. That's now somewhere else. And the shelf is in that spot. So it cannot fit on the shelf unless I keep the light at the lowest setting. If I want to extend the light, because right now my herb garden challenge container, the basil is hitting the light and so is the dill. I have to raise the light, so I have to remove it off the shelf. So I have to buy a mini table to fit 3 units, hydroponic units on it in front of the shelf. So this has gone, yeah, I've gone overboard. What's that song? Man overboard. Yeah, I've gone overboard with this hydroponics. So that's what I'm going to do because I want to grow a lot of my greens indoors. My radishes in the hydroponics damped off, so I planted some new ones because I see people growing radishes, but maybe they start them in sand or in soil or in peat moss and then transfer it to a hydroponic unit that's in the rocks. So I'm trying one more time. If it doesn't make it, I'm going to try starting my seeds in a peat pellet and then removing them and putting them into the net cup with the rocks and growing them in that type of hydroponics. Maybe it's not good in the sponges. So I'll try one more time, but Mike can tell me if you find radishes can grow that way or start the seeds separately somewhere else and then move them to the net cups after they get a good root structure. Me and G Mama approve. Yeah. So I spent some money again. As I told you, I'm spending money on getting things, the infrastructure in so that this year and next year going forward, it's set up. So that seed stand is staying in my living room 12 months a year. I'm not taking it apart and putting it like, no, ain't nobody got time for that. The lights are set up. They're hung up on there. I'm going to get a nice piece of black fabric or with some sparkles in it to make it look like, something nice. But that shelf is staying there 12 months a year. So I can grow the hydroponics on there. I can start my seeds on there for the indoor stuff, but that's what I'm doing. I don't have space. I don't have a separate. Well, I have another bedroom, but that's used in case guests come. I don't want my guests saying, "Oh, sorry, excuse me, I gotta go check my plants." Oh, in the middle of the night, sorry, I gotta check my plants. You don't want you want to have them have their privacy, so I'll keep that separate. So my living room is where I have my office as well. I'm sitting here in my dining area, and I keep the bedrooms kind of vacant for guests, and then I also do my recordings in there when I'm doing my unboxings and stuff. I use the desk in there. But that's what I'm working on as well because when they sent us home to work from home, it's kind of like you just dump the stuff somewhere. But now I got to get my office in here more organized. I may get a desk in the living room to put against the wall for my desk so that my dining table is an actual dining table again. Mind you, I don't really have people coming over, so who cares? I grow radishes in your okay, so I don't know what happened. They dampened off before they got their true leaves, and that was it. They didn't do too well. So I gotta figure that out. Cut that basil at a low node and you won't have to raise your light. Okay, maybe I should cut it and use it in a pasta dish. But let me record it first before I cut it. So because we have an update for the herb on April the 5th, the next update for the herb garden challenge. So let me record it and then are you using rock wool to start them or soil? I am starting the radishes that you're talking about in the sponges. I don't have rock wool yet. I have to actually buy some rock wool because I want to do the other experiment that D-Mood is doing, which we both watched that channel, Planted in the Garden. And he has like 3 holes in the top of the lid of the 5-gallon bucket, 3 or 4 holes. And then he has the net cups and the rocks, and he transferred the seedlings into that. But you can keep them in the rock wool if you have them in rock wool. So I might order rock wool just for that because I don't want to give myself extra work in moving this gentle seedlings. And sometimes my fingers are not so gentle and I actually snap them by accident. So yes, I cut my basil nearly daily. Oh, it loves it. Okay, I'm going to cut some today. And I'm going to, do you guys dry it or do you freeze it or do you just Basil is delicious dry. Oh, for tea. Yes, I had it in my tea. Oh my goodness. It tastes good with the green tea. So I'm gonna be doing that. So I think I cut up to the chat, but I missed a lot of comments in between. Sorry about that. Let me go back to shade cloth. Yeah, okay, you're talking about the Florida weather. Get your shade cloths, Florida people, because I know you guys go from winter to right to summer. There's no spring and there's no in between, just right to the hot. But make sure there's enough airflow in your when you put the shade, you need to give a lot of airflow. So try to give a lot of space like higher up. Don't put the shade cloth right down. Put it build a frame to kind of make a amount of space around the plants so that the air can flow. Let me see here. I actually like to grow above the sponge, so I cut the sponge and reset. Oh, well, it germinated and then I kind of lifted it up, but I didn't see any bulb forming, maybe, or I didn't see anything that would be, I don't know. I pulled it up. So maybe I have to pull. Okay. So I'll, once it germinates, I will try to cut or lift it up off the sponge. Okay. So I cut the sponge and reset it in it. Okay. I think I'll do that. You want to make sure I put it above. I think the stem got too much water. And yeah, I make basil pesto and I add to my dishes too. I'm gonna make some kind of basil pesto as well. I love pesto. I love pasta, so I'm gonna try it. It's very nice. It's very good for you too. And Cece's asking if lashes goes okra, but I'm definitely going okra this year again. I think okra is one of the prettiest plants out there. The flowers are beautiful. I only started growing okra in the last 3 to 5 years, I would say. My dad always tried to grow it, and he said it never came to nothing. It never germinated. I had to take a lot of time to germinate them. I think I even threw out some seeds. I threw out the seed tray outside, and then the sun made them germinate. It was funny. So I love the flowers of okra. It looks so pretty. It looks like a floral garden, but you're also getting food. So I'm definitely going to grow more okra this year. I didn't have enough. I have some in the freezer from last year still that I'm going to like cook with some fish or something. I like them raw as well. I tried them raw and they taste really good. So pesto, I'm going to make some pesto. I'm going to get some more okra. I'm going to go to the store. I think I'm not sure if somebody sent me because I have two seeds coming from two people. Um Someone should get I should get one in 7 days. They sent them yesterday. So 7 days. I asked for different kinds of okra, like the orange one and the burgundy one, if they have them, and whatever else. I mentioned a whole bunch of stuff, whatever else, because I don't get those things here. So once I have them once, I can get my own seeds. So I'm gonna hopefully, if I got some orange okra and some of the burgundy one, I'm going to grow them and I'm going to share those seeds for next season. But I love it's so pretty, it's beautiful, and then even the okra on it looks just like a foliage. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Oh, you have some growing indoors? I'm going to drop my okra today. But I had to plug in the heat. I had to redo my seed station because I had to get a power bar. So I had to unplug all the hydroponics and reset the date and time, whatever, who cares? Plug in a new power bar to plug in more stuff. And I'm going to have to actually plug in another power bar in the power bar because there's so much things to plug into that wall. And I have to get another extension cord for the other outlet so I can plug in other things because by the time you plug in the lights, you plug in the heat mats, you plug in the air pump, you plug in the hydroponics, you're plugging in a whole bunch of stuff. One okra pod can give you at least, I think I got about 40 seeds in one pod. So all you need to do is keep two or three pods and give people about 5 to 10 seeds each, maybe five. Because sometimes they don't. No, I'll give them 5 or 6 each because you got to do the work to germinate them. But I did find this though. I dried my pods, I kept the seeds, and one time I found that the seeds got a bit moldy. I don't know why. I think I'm going to have to change all my seeds that I harvest myself from the plastic Ziploc bags to paper envelopes because some of the seeds, not all of them, some of them got moldy, like the broccolini, the bok choy. Like I dried up the stuff, that I put them on the counter, let them dry. I took out the husk, put them in a Ziploc bag, mold. So the okra seeds, I had to put them in an envelope and I had to shake them in cinnamon. So hopefully that helps. But yeah. Let me see here. Give me a second. Then as soon as they swell, I pulled. Okay, I didn't see no swelling, but something happened. I grow okra in my tall rack. The okra that I grew outside got about, I would say, 4 feet tall, and it probably would have gotten taller, but the roots couldn't really go nowhere. But the roots weren't deep; the roots are more wide, but about 4 feet tall. So if you got 4 feet of height, but I also have a hybrid okra, which is a bush okra, which is probably why my seeds didn't germinate because it's a hybrid. So I had to get regular seeds. So I think I should buy a pack. I'm gonna have to go buy some seeds today of regular green okra because the ones that I have in the original pack, I can use them, but I can't harvest those seeds. I harvested them and they didn't come to nothing. So I don't know if it's maybe I'll try it one more time, but I'm gonna buy non-hybrid okra seeds. That's a lot of plugging. Oh, someone's doing plugging? I think it's listen, I ain't doing none of that stuff. If you're talking about seed, no. I my life is just too busy. I don't got time for all that extra stuff. That's why peat pods and I want to try some sand. Dry them in the wedding bags a month. Okay, those organza bags, yeah. I yeah. So I'm gonna get something else because those like small little Ziploc bags, which are very convenient for them, not working. Uh Dwarf okra. Yeah, dwarf okra was prolific, but I don't think you can harvest the seeds. So buy a lot of seeds. I dry my seeds in organza's bags. Invest in those because they are breathable and reusable. Then you can store them when completely dry. Okay, that's I'll try that because I put them on a tray. Maybe the point is that they're on a tray flat. They need to be have air all around. I dried them in the sun. I dried, you know, I don't know what's happened with it was the okra and certain of the brassicas. And one time it happened with a squash, but I just let them dry longer. It was my own fault. Let them dry longer, and then it was fine. It didn't get moldy. And I don't always wash my seeds either. Some people like to wash like their strawberries and their tomatoes. I don't wash them. I put them on a paper towel and let them dry out, and then I take a tweezer and I pick them off the paper towel and put them in a bag. I don't wash them. I don't see the point of I wasn't raised with them being washed. They just dry them and use them next year. So I don't know if you guys dry your wash your strawberries and tomatoes. Ain't nobody got time for that. I smear them on a paper towel or I smear it on some wax paper, parchment paper, and when they dry, I pick them off and put them in a bag. You tell me what you do, but I haven't done it and I don't see the point of doing it if I'm getting crops from the seeds without washing them. That's all I'm saying. Maybe it's worth it, but if it works with me not doing it, why would I do the work if I'm still going to get the food to grow? Um let me see here. Hey Nikki, I see you there. Um Long pod dwarf green okra, Mike. They have different varieties of dwarf okra. Okay. I'm gonna go to the store, even though there's no sale here. There's no Menards. I'm gonna find some more seeds. So Mike likes to ferment the seeds. Then I forget and grow seed thing. Oh, so so you ferment them, you forget, and they grow. That's exactly what I don't want to happen. So yeah, I don't see the point of fermenting them because yeah, and they don't get moldy. They don't get if you dry them properly. I haven't had any tomato seeds get moldy ever. Strawberries never. Okay, I was just saying that to my hubby yesterday. When you wash, you remove the protective layer because the water dries off, and you need and then also too, what do you wash them with? Because now we're back into the water. You can't be using tap water because that's full of bleach. And speaking of which, my sister called me. She's like, the water is even more bleachy than I've complained about in the last 3 years. It's even more bleachy. So, and you all know what happened in Ohio last couple of months ago. So once you start smelling even more bleach, there's a reason for them adding more bleach. They're cleaning and covering up something. Then the barge that's stuck in Ohio again in the river. And let me tell you something. When I get your water right now, buy up your water. And don't buy the 24 pack. Buy the big 5-gallon, 15-liter jugs of water. You ain't got time to be popping open all these bottles and plastic bottles, and just buy the big jug and done. And I'm buying today the big jug of distilled water because I rely on that for my hydroponics. So I'm going to buy the big jug. And there's a place here called Princess Auto that has the manual pumps for it for $5. On Amazon, those pumps, the manual ones are about $12. I'm going to go and buy about 4, 2 for me, 2 for the parents' house, because I'm going to get there on the big jugs of water as well and the big jugs of distilled water. I'm not, just that's your prepping tip for the day. Go and get some more water. I don't know what's going on. And get a filter on your shower, because that was what burned up my skin as well last summer. And even now, my feet still have eczema all over it because it's taking that long to clear up. Hey, TT's Urban Pantry, I see you there. Thanks for popping in. And I think I saw somebody else, but give me a second because this StreamYard is slow. But yeah, I don't wash my seeds. Well, I rinse off slightly like the squash seeds because those are kind of slimy, but not really much. Just a little chips, and then just rinse them off quickly, let them dry. And I rinse off like papaya seeds because those are kind of, but other than that, nah, not too much. I'm not washing them because you want that natural coating on it. CC's growing Longhorn, Louisiana Green Velvet, and Clemson Spine. I've never heard of Longhorn or Louisiana Green Velvet. I know Clemson. Wow, okay, that's a new. I'll check. Then again, you can't get that stuff here. I'll have to try a different store and see if they have some more variety. Hey, growing out the box. Good morning to you. Let me see here. Those jelly seeds, tomatoes, cucumbers, those seeds need fermenting to help germinate. No fermenting results in lower. Oh, what? I've never fermented tomato seeds in my life. Cucumber now. I've never really kept the seeds of cucumbers, to be honest, because I can buy them from the dollar store. So I've never actually kept the cucumber seeds. I think I kept some last year, but I forgot to label some of the seeds. So now I don't know what's what. I think one is honeydew melon. I'm not sure. I might just throw them out and just start fresh because I can't be bothered to figure out what is what. So you find fermenting the seeds for cucumber helps? I did not. So can I ferment? Can't I just soak them before I plant them? I'm going to try that. I'm trying to get a couple of more IBC tanks for, yes, definitely, Fifi, definitely. Because you can even feed that rainwater to your chickens, your turkeys. There's a whole options. You can purify it for yourself, water your plants. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you will benefit from. I am going to look into IBC tote here as well, but for now, I'm going to just use the barrels because the IBC tote is very noticeable. And I'm trying to see if they have a smaller option because I don't want everybody looking over here. What's going on over there in her backyard? But definitely I'm getting some water catchment done this year. I am not playing around with that. Okay, someone's showing the weather. Okay, so I'm going to go through my list some more. Hey, on deck with CB. If I missed you guys, I just didn't see you. I'm reading papers and I'm not watching the chat, but thanks for popping in. Fifi saying, I have never washed any of my seeds, haven't had any issues. Yeah, I've never, but I will try soaking the cucumber seed. Well, I'm going to soak the okra seeds because I know that is a problem. Oh, you never keep tomato seeds? You should try, especially if you're buying unique varieties that you can't really get anywhere else. Like I can get beefsteak, no problem. Roma, no problem. San Marzano, No, I've never seen the seeds in the store. I've only seen the seedlings in nurseries. Tiny Tim, those are like you can get them anywhere. Um, Cherry tomatoes, um, some other brand. I said another one that I saw in the dollar store. Anyways, but when you're talking about like Amish paste, I've never seen them here unless you order them from somebody in the stores. I haven't seen the black tomatoes. I haven't seen the purple ones. I haven't seen mortgage lifter. There's certain ones that maybe you guys get them readily, so then that's why you don't see. But I don't see those fancy brands of tomatoes over here. So if I do get them from somebody, and then the lady next door gave me some seeds. I don't even know what they are. I think they're from Italy. They're not labeled. I don't even know what they are. I think I planted them last year and I forgot to keep them. Somebody gave me pineapple tomato, so I'm going to plant those this year as well. I don't see pineapple tomato in the stores. The only orange tomato that I saw in the store is a hybrid. So I can get hybrids, no problem. But if I want an heirloom to keep the seeds, I have to keep my seeds. I'm gonna top up the my tea in a second. I'm gonna get my grapes because I'm getting kind of peckish. Um, I bought strawberry bare roots thinking they'd store a month, but read they only good 2 weeks max. So I'm gonna grow them hydroponically. I had some bare roots and I planted them upside down. I was very new to gardening then, and I had to run out 2 days later and turn them the right side way and the roots down. And I don't know, they never grew. But I got some on sale at the blue store, some ever-bearing ones. They didn't make it through the winter, so I got to get some more. I usually soak them until the pulp releases with just water. Okay. Yeah, you just do a light little rinse. That's what I do too. I ferment the goo. I don't ferment it off, but I rinse it off. Like I put the seeds in a fine mesh strainer and I run the water on it to rinse off the goop. Then I take a spoon and I spoon out the seeds, and then the goop I throw the goop in the compost. And if it needs to be rinsed again, I rinse it a few more times lightly. But I don't really, like the cucumber, the squash stuff. Yeah, I rinse them off slightly, but not thoroughly. If there's a little bit on it, I leave it there, let it dry, and it's good. And I don't have to soak those seeds. Bare root strawberries can last longer cut off there in the fridge. Okay, so she's giving him some advice. Um, I've been wanting to start a garden. I just don't feel like I have the time. That's how I've been feeling this year. And I garden all the time. Just start with a couple of plants, And if you maybe someone else can suggest. I think that lettuce is so easy. Just sprinkle them in a pot or wherever and let them do their thing and harvest them. Tomatoes are pretty easy to grow, and beans, but get bush beans. Don't start with the running beans. Just get a couple of bush beans, put them in a pot, a couple of tomatoes, and a couple of lettuces, and you'll be surprised. That may be enough to get your green thumb going, and you're going to start growing food. Because tomatoes, you can't really mess them up, and you can tell when they need water. So just give it a try. I think you'll enjoy it, eating your own food. Hey, Miss Ellen Pankey, good morning to you. I do it simple. I like back in the day. Yeah, keep it simple. I don't want no extra work, man. Mind you, I'm doing hydroponics, but I don't want any extra work. Anything that I do, I try to do the simple way, because I got to be able to maintain that and outdoor garden. And now I got clucks. And before you know it, I'm probably going to be like Fifi and have turkey and have meat bird. Then I might get a dog. Then I have to go fight squirrel and groundhog and raccoon and eagles. Then I have to go fight, nosy name. Like, there's enough on my plate. So I don't want to have to go do that. But yeah, back to my list, back to my spreadsheets, my paper. So let me sound important. So endive, fennel, I'm growing. Gourds, I have it on my list. I've never grew a gourd in my life. I don't think I even have them, unless those are winter squash. Would you like? Would you be willing to cross the border into Michigan to get a deal on Menards? Maybe in the summertime, maybe during the summer months. I'll have to find out when the sales are so I can time my visits because there's some things I do want that are yeah. So I'll think about that because but in the summertime, hopefully in June I can get over there. 'Cause I do want to go to Detroit to handle some business over there. So if I can get down to there, if there's some place in Detroit ish, maybe further inland, I can check that out. But yeah, I just can't do it now. It'll have to be during the summer months. Are you giving a whole? Are you growing a whole? Sorry. Are you going to have a whole? That's the goal. I do like the city, but I like the country too. I'm a country mouse and a city mouse at the same time. Don't buy butter crunch. I'm sending you a ton. Okay, don't buy butter crunch, Psalms. Mike's sending you a ton. Don't buy no butter crunch lettuce. He's hooking you up. Okay, so Casper kale and dinosaur kale I'm growing and premier kale. But I think I'm gonna grow dinosaur and let my parents grow premier. I am growing kohlrabi. My family doesn't want it, but I'm growing it because it's so easy to grow. And it's I'm gonna show the video as soon as possible. They survived the winter. I'm talking about a Toronto like Buffalo winter. They survived. So if you are in a cold climate, kohlrabi may not be your favorite, but try it. You can eat the leaves separate again, 2 for 1. The bulb can be cooked and mixed with I'm Caribbean, so we mix it with our callaloo and like saltfish. So instead of using chocho, we've been using chocho you guys call chayote or you guys call Merlington. We call it chocho. We mix chocho with our greens. Hey, Miss V, I see you there. We now use kohlrabi and mix it with our greens with saltfish. So those you Caribbean people and African descent, and you make like a saltfish kind of thing, you can use the kohlrabi in there instead. It has no taste, but it's similar to like the no taste of chocho. And you can eat it raw. You can make it in fine slivers and eat it raw. So I'm gonna try in my raw vegan wraps. That might you could eat the leaves. Beets the same thing. It grows nicely with the beets. We intercropped with some stuff. So yeah, that's a good try kohlrabi. Leek was good last year. It did me very well, and it's a good bug deterrent. Hey, Cassandra, are you at? I think you're at the soil festival, right? I've been watching people's videos, but I can't recognize everybody when I'm seeing them. But I think you were in one of the videos with somebody. I think, but hope you're having fun. Okay, stepping away from the chat. Okay. So Miss V's in the chat. And yeah, they survived the winter very well. So some things you have to know what grows in your zone because you can't always grow what you like. I cannot always grow Caribbean food. It's not going to work in my climate outdoors. So I have to grow what works in my climate. And it may not be what I like, but you can make it work if you know how to cook it. If you know how to you know, make it flavor it up more, make it more appealing. So that's how we use it in the Caribbean dish. You can even roast it. I've roasted it with like sweet potatoes and pumpkin or squash. You cut them all up into squares. I mix them with some, seasoning, some olive oil or avocado oil, and I bake it a little bit. Okay, she's there. And you just, you do it like that. And it tastes very nice. And you have to sometimes put it in later because it cooks faster than the other stuff, but it tastes very nice. It steams up nice. It has a lot of water in it. So it adds water to the pan to not make the other stuff dry out. There's all you can even make it and make it with scrambled eggs. There's so much things you can do. Do you eat food? Fumbois. I don't know what that is. Let me look at a picture. Maybe I know what it is by looking at it. I don't know the name of it. Give me a second here. Hold on. An article just popped up on my feed that caught my attention. Let me just talk about this article since it caught. Give me 1 second. It says here, Bayer sues 4 Missouri farmers for illegally spraying dicamba, saving and replanting seeds from the company's genetically engineered crops. I got a lot on my feed this week, but I'll talk about next week, but this one caught my eye right now. So Bayer is the pharmaceutical company, sues 4 Missouri farmers for illegally spraying dicamba, saving and replanting seeds from their company's genetically engineered food crops. So critics allege the lawsuit is a way to relegate responsibility for millions of acres of damage to crops and natural areas across the Midwest and the South. Let me just read this. So this is from investigatemidwest.org. I'm referencing my source so you guys can look it up. I got it from an African store. It's a wild spinach to eat there with peanut butter. I've never heard of it, but I'm going to look it up. Give me a second. I'm clicking the wrong things. I meant to click TT's comment and I do funny you mentioned that because last year I mentioned that I'm trying to grow more food from the motherland. For me, I think that's going to help my health. I think your native foods, things that are in their original form, and okra is one of those things that is from the motherland, and they brought it over. And a lot of you Americans in the South, that some of the crops that you grow are direct results of the ancestry. And those foods are good for us. So I'm trying to grow more things from the motherland. And I know they have a motherland okra on Baker Creek, but any okra is fine. I got strawberries from Menards, 10 roots, $3, 100 onion bulbs, same price. I got red and white and sweet onions. That's a good price. Back to my article. So 1 second here. Give me a second here. Because this is So Bayer is suing 4 farmers in the Boot Heel of Missouri for illegally spraying older versions of dicamba. I don't know what dicamba is on its genetically engineered soybeans. I guess dicamba is a pesticide, as well as doing so after the state's cutoff date for spraying the herbicide. The lawsuits filed in January in federal court in the Eastern District of Missouri alleged that the farmers were in violation of their user agreements with Bayer and have harmed the company's reputation with the EPA. Bayer alleges the farmers also saved seeds from Bayer's dicamba-tolerant crops and replanted them. Why would they spray it with dicamba and then save the seeds? What was the point of spraying? I'm missing something there, but let me keep reading on. A violation of their user agreement. During the course of the investigation into saving seeds, Bayer says it found evidence of the farmers illegally spraying older versions of dicamba, which are legal to buy but can't be used on crops. The lawsuit charges the farmers with patent infringement, breach of contract, tortious, not that word, but I know that word there, tortious interference. I think it's tortious because tort law. Sorry, I'm not correcting my grammar. Interference with business expectancies and negligence. Critics say the lawsuits are an attempt by Bayer to blame the older version of the weed killer for damage caused by the widespread legal use of dicamba on crops. Millions of acres of farmland and natural areas have been harmed by dicamba moving off of where it was applied since genetically engineered dicamba tolerant crops were introduced in 2015. Because of the damage, a federal court banned dicamba briefly in 2020, and so on and so on. It's not much left, but the point of this article that is kind of being missed is that they have a genetically modified crop, which is soybeans, that is resistant to dicamba. And a lot of the products that we eat, even the plant-based products, are heavily soy-based. So that may be a problem for some of you who are eating soy-based foods. That has not been mentioned in the article. So let me find that thing that TT mentioned before I forget. FUMBWA. Congolese wild spinach stew. Okay. I'm going to snap that and see if I can get. I've never heard of it per se, unless it goes by another name, which I'll look up later. But let me get back to the chat. But that article, they the soy, which we already know soybeans is GMO, but they've now made it resistant to pesticides. But that pesticide is probably still in the food, and then some. So grow your own soybeans. Something happened with CC. Mike, stop making me jelly about Menards. I'm sending you seeds, Miss Ellen. Okay. Okay, so he's hooking. This community is such a blessing. You guys really hook us up. I'm telling you. Oh, good morning. Good eats. Let me catch up with the chat because I was reading the article, so I wasn't watching. But yeah, you guys have been a blessing because trust me, I know it's not cheap to send them to Canada, but y'all have been sending me some seeds. And I am going to pay it forward to people here, so don't you worry. Let me go get some more tea. Give me 1 second. Okay, I got it. Instead of buying, yep. I'll leave the chat there so I know where I left off. Let me get some more water in this teacup, the same tea bag, and get my grapes. 1 second. Oh, something just froze. I don't know. Did I plug up? Hold on. Okay. Something popped out. I think I hit the cord. Okay, so I left off with Mike. And just make sure you guys can hear me. Okay, so let me catch up with the chat. So I left off there. I'm eating my grapes. The farmers, instead of buying the magic chemicals from Bayer, they use old chemical. Probably, yep. They use the old herbicide. I don't know why that makes a difference if it was herbicide resistant, but maybe they're only resistant to the new kind. I don't know. I'm going to read some more into that. Sorry if you hear me chewing. Let me mute the mic so you don't hear me chewing. And that is part of the problem with gardening. Farming, big commercial farmers. If seeds are patented and you are growing them, it's not. you can lose a lot of money and property because of legal fees and stuff fighting these big corporations. Because regular people can't get GMO seeds. So the business of farming is very corrupt, as we already know, but there's levels of corruption. Um, Let me see here. Catching up. Bayer is trying to say their old chemicals are bad, so farmers need new chemicals from them, of course. I don't know if the chemicals are from them, Mike. It left me with more questions than clear answers, so I'm gonna go and dig deeper into that one because that's very interesting to see that they're being sued. Yeah, there's a newer version of that herbicide that they mentioned, dicamba. Dicamba sounds like a plant. That's why I was like, dicamba sounds like a plant, like jicama or something. But they took the seeds from the plant, and these plants are being used to make our food products or packaged food. And the plant that was mentioned was soybean. So we already talked about soybeans, and a lot of people talk about soybeans. You need to be careful what is the source of the soybeans because they're putting other stuff up in these foods. So be careful. And a lot of plant-based people are eating a lot of soybean products. Okay, I'm just catching up with the chat, guys. Sorry. You know me, I have to take a commercial break. I gotta go get, drink. I gotta go, so on and so forth. The plow buried my driveway, and my wife couldn't pull. Oh God, yeah, trust me. I know about them shoveling. And Gina says, she knows that you all know she's in these streets. So if she missed anybody, she apologizes. Saturdays is people days to do errands, which I'm going to do later on myself. Okay, and Lashes is saying she's listening as well, not watching the chat. So don't get upset, people. I know some people get upset. I've heard some stories already. People getting cussed off after live because they never say hi to the person. Please be aware that we're all adults. We all got work to do. Some people are in the garden, shopping, running errands. Okay, I'm chewing a grape. Sorry, you're going to have to hear me chewing, guys. It's that kind of life today. Okay. So lettuce. Lettuce is so easy to grow. Black seeded Simpson, Burpee Bib, Butter Crunch, Paris Island, Romaine, and Rouge Diver. I don't like iceberg lettuce. I'm not a fan. But if I grow it, I guess it's okay because it's natural. It's high in water content. You can use it for juicing and stuff. I do juice my lettuces. You can add them to your green juices. It's very water rich. Good bang for your buck. Melons. I am going to grow Minnesota midgets. Last year they weren't very sweet, but you try again. Maybe it needs a deeper pot and more nutrients. And I think they said Epsom salt makes your crop sweeter. So I will be trying that out. Onions. I don't need onions, but I do grow them to help with pest deterrence. And somebody's going to want onions. I can give them away. Neighbors, friends, they like natural onions. Okra, I mentioned that for sure. Mustard greens, for sure. I'm going to plant them actually now because I think they can handle the cold like spinach. The heat, they kind of had to be put in the shade. And last year I put them in the shade and they did well. But the bugs attacked those mustard greens. So for me, it may be a trap crop more than me actually going to eat them. Now, for me, I get confused with beans versus peas. They're kind of the same. I think I missed the bean category here. So I'm going to do Gold Rush, Golden Wax, Triumph de Farcy, and a bean that I took from the library. I forgot the name, but I'm going to add that. They're all bush beans. Easy to harvest, prolific. The more you harvest, the more they grow. Hey, Blues Clues, thanks for coming in. Sorry, I'm eating grapes. And it's easy to harvest the seeds. You just dry the whole pod, and there you go. The peas, I will be doing sugar snap peas again, and something else. I'm going to try one more thing. I'm not a fan of running beans, not because I don't like them. I have to get a trellis and all these other infrastructure, so it's kind of like, I'll get a bush bean. It's just easier. Put it in a pot. It does its thing. And so melons, peppers, bell peppers, yes. Shepherd pepper, I did last year, yes. Cayenne pepper, yes, to donate to the library. I don't need any more. I have a whole jar of dried cayenne pepper. I soaked a whole bunch in vodka and made my own cayenne pepper tincture. It helps with your immune system. I always have clogged sinuses, helps with sinuses, helps with, blood pressure. Do your own research. This is not medical advice. This is just telling you what these products can do. You're responsible to talk to your own doctor about your own health issues. So, cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper is a good also pest deterrent because when they bite into them and the little squirrels burn their face off, they don't come back. Chocolate habanero, yes. Scotch bonnet, yes. And again, to donate the seeds. Sorry, I'm chewing, guys. I'm really sorry, but I'm hungry. Since nothing can add to your soil to make your crop sweet. They said Epsom salt. Is that a lie? That's hype to sell the product. Plants are sweet or bitter variety. Oh, so that's all a big lie. And then Mike is saying arugula grows easily. Mine is not growing, but the hydroponics at my parents' house, their arugula is growing, and they use my seeds. So I'm not sure what happened, but yeah. Give me a second. So mine are slow. So it could be the kit. No, I have a pump in there now. I don't know. I'm going to try them again. The ones that are there now are growing, but they're growing slow. Yeah, I heard Epsom salt adds calcium, but they said that also helps the plants taste sweet. That's what somebody said on the video. It's not me saying it. That's what I heard. So I was going to try it out and see if it works, if it's legit. So I'm just checking the feed to make sure it's because I see I'm lagging on my own screen. So I want to make sure it's not lagging too much for you guys. I mean magnesium. Okay, see the chat's much faster on the phone. I use Epsom salt around my garden and everything tastes as it should. Okay, I don't know. I'm gonna try it. Maybe it's a big old lie. A big old fat lie. But let me see. Okay, radishes. I'm trying to grow indoors, but I will be direct sowing them this week. Yes, you can plant radishes in April in a cold climate. They will germinate on their own and do their own thing. Spinach, same thing. You can plant them in April. I got this from MI Gardner's channel. I watched some of his old videos where he direct sowed in the cold and they grew fine. And the carrots, I will be dropping seeds this week as well. But I have to, in all of the radishes and the spinach and the carrots, even I'm going to plant some more turnips. I never had luck with turnips. I have to amend the soil. So I'll be taking the alfalfa pellets, sprinkling some in there, sprinkling the banana powder, the banana skin that I dried and grind up. I'm going to put some of the banana powder in there and get that going. And then I'll drop the seeds. And then I'll start adding the fish fertilizer, or not fish, the seaweed in a few weeks' time when it gets a little warmer. Now's a good time to plant outdoors your carrots and stuff because it's damp and the seeds will germinate. You don't have to sit there and keep them damp. You don't have to water the rainwater that's coming down. I left all the pots out in the rain. It rained last night, so they can get saturated with rainwater. All the grow bags, I'll have to add them outside as well. Let them get saturated with rainwater so that you don't have to keep watering them. Drop your seeds, and I'm going to cover the carrots with cardboard because that worked last year and they germinated. I had like a good success with the carrots germinating. The problem came when the groundhog came and started eating from my carrots, but I'm going to build covers for them. And you're saying don't use Epsom salt unless you know the soil is lacking the minerals. Yeah, I'm going to just do all purpose, just a general, leaf mold and that kind of stuff, because sometimes you're just doing things because you hear it's good, but then you don't need to do it. It's actually wasting your time. So it adds magnesium. Don't overdo it. It will promote growth. Too much can negatively affect the soil. Okay. Thank you. And give me a second here. There's a difference in taste from different plants foods. Maxi Grow is great for lettuces. Dyna Grow for peppers and tomatoes. Aero Garden food is good all-purpose food. And I wasn't in the live. I watched a replay of a live, and I saw your comments on there too. You watch her too, Mike, the lady who does hydroponics indoors. I think she's in Ohio too. Is she in Ohio? No, Chicago. Forgot her name now, but don't mention her name. You know what I'm talking about. And she mentioned in her live that Aero Garden's fertilizer is built in with a pH balancer or something to that effect. And that's exactly, I'm like, so I said to her, thanks for the tip, because I had to learn the hard way. I'm here doing hydroponics by myself with kits that I bought with their fertilizer, and I was having pH problems all over the place. And then you're wondering why people are getting success with their stuff and they're new as well, but they're using Aero Garden. The sponges for Aero Garden and the fertilizer have built-in things to make your success greater. But thanks for that tip. I'm going to hold on a second here. Let me go back in my phone and I'm going to screenshot that, because I was looking for Maxi Grow. You've mentioned that before, but damn, it's expensive. I'm like, so it may be cheaper in the States, even with the exchange rate. So I'm probably going to have to wait till I go down there and just stock up on some supplies. But yeah. Okay, so let me scroll back down. So Maxi Grow, Dyna Grow, I think I can get that here. I'm going to check a hydroponic store here, but sometimes the website doesn't give you the right prices. That's what I don't like. Yeah, the Maxi Grow is expensive on the Amazon. It was ridiculous. It was cheaper for me to buy the Aero Garden Aero Garden fertilizer, and that's $40 for the big jug of the Aero Garden. I can't get it any cheaper. So yeah, because you're in the States. So I'll have to order stuff and ship it to my brother's house and have to go down there and get it, or find a store in the States that sell it at the same price as Amazon. And when I go down, just like stock up on all this stuff, on the liquid feed, the Dyna Grow, on the rock wool, all the different stuff, and just stock up on it, because they charge us, I guess, into the price they built in the shipping, the import, this and the that and the third, and profit margin. And before you know it, it's like, yeah, I'm using banana peels and leaf mold. It ends up going back to that, because they make it so expensive, and it's not expensive right next door to us, which is not fair. Let me see what G Mama's saying here. I use Epsom salt right before planting as a foliar spray. So what does that mean, G Mama? Are you, because foliar, I thought you're spraying the leaves. So do you spray the soil around where you're going to plant and spray the leaves and then transplant it? Is that what you're saying? Just to make sure I know what you're saying. And the bag lasts you for 4. Yeah, see, exactly. I want to get those supplies, but I'm telling you, it was ridiculous, and the bag is small. Maybe it's worth getting it. Maybe that's just the price that it is, but I know you mentioned it, and I actually watched a video that compared that with another brand and the Maxi Grow crops. He had a blind test and he tasted them and he looked at the growth. Just grew better. They were fuller, especially for the microgreens. The taste was different. He said it tastes a bit sweeter too, and it was more crunchy. I don't know what the ratio is for their fertilizer, but a lot of people are using Maxi Grow. And I think I saw a comment. Someone just said that Dino, yeah, Blues Clues says Dino is a solid product. Okay, so if I'll look for both. Maybe I can get Dino for a more reasonable price here versus the Maxi Grow. Oh, mail's here. Be right back. Okay. Good morning to you, Mrs. 1204. Good to see you. So that's what's happening here. So let me go through the rest of my list. I have to add to my list because there's things that but I don't have to add. If something's under like the pumpkin category, I don't really add every pumpkin. It's kind of like pumpkin. And all my pumpkins have to be planted direct sow June the 2nd, based on my current March 19th last frost date. But I'm going to push it earlier. So spinaches. I haven't had good luck. Jamaican sorrel, I'm not growing this year, not because I don't want to, but because I could grow it now. And I know I could grow it because I grew it last year. So I think I'm going to take a year off just to get my growth station in the garage really established. And then next season, I can either grow it or I can start in the fall and keep it in the garage all winter under the right conditions. So I'm taking a pause from that right now. I would love to grow it, but my hands are a bit full with the chicken. So let me just focus my energy on what I know I can do well and then experiment with those things once I have the equipment set up. Or I can try it and keep it in the hydroponics. I'm not sure. I'll try. But spinach does not germinate well for me at all. For the outdoor garden and hydroponically, and when it finally did grow, the stupid aphids, and then I was spraying them, and that was that. The spray killed them. The neem oil and stuff killed them. So that wasn't a good plan. Swiss chard, I can grow that in my sleep. That's so easy to grow. Swiss chard is so easy. And it's so resilient and it's cold tolerant. If you put it in the garage for the winter or even in a covered area from wind and snow, you'll be harvesting Swiss chard all winter long. Again, it's not a fan favorite because it's a bit bitter. Even in the soil and in water, it's bitter. But it can handle the cold tolerant. And the nutrients in Swiss chard is high. Sorry for the chewing, but I'm hungry. Sorry. Squash, butterbush, butternut, acorn, and straight neck squash. I have an acorn hybrid. I'm going to be looking for another type. Not last year, but the year before, I grew a lot of squashes. And they store very well. I was cooking squash from my garden in the end of February. When you harvest them, you keep the stem as long as possible so that it doesn't dry out fast. But if you're a prepper or you're like trying to find things that can last and store well and feed you during the winter months where you can't really grow a lot of squash that can keep in a cold room, in a cellar, even on my kitchen. It was in my kitchen for several months. And when I opened the last one, it was fresh, like it was just harvested. So I know people don't really like squash. I didn't like it because I didn't like it because I couldn't cut them open. I find it very hard to cut them open. So I found a technique with a rolling pin and a butcher knife and just, hammer the knife into it. That's why I didn't like it. It was hard for me to handle and process them and open them and peel them. They're very hefty, but they last a long time. Can you imagine cutting your own fresh squash in February and March? And then it's soon time to plant some more. And tomatoes for sure. Turnips direct sow. I am going to grow watermelons. I had a few last year. They weren't very sweet, but they were watery and very refreshing. So sugar baby, I'm going to grow. Early Canadian. And I have another kind that I can't remember. And I'm going to try, if somebody has, I don't know who sent me seeds, but I don't have any of the orange watermelon. And I think orange or yellow was the original color of watermelon back in the day. So I want some of those and zucchini for sure. But my zucchini, those damn animals keep eating off my zucchini. So that's the end of my list, generally. And take it from there. Let me see what it says here. Sorry, guys. For those of you who are new, I don't usually eat, but I'm hungry. Sorry. Okay. So you're saying 5 milliliters per gallon. Okay, so it goes far. When my leaves have yellowing, I dissolve Epsom salt in filtered water and spray the leaves for 2 days. The leaves are hungry. Oh, yeah, I know the leaves absorb chlorophyll. That's okay. I will try that. And funny enough, I usually have Epsom salt and water in a spray bottle in my shower. And people say in your shower. So like if I get some people get like heat bumps or you get pimples on your body. And it could be a result of certain products that you're using that are clogging your pores. Like some people get bumps on their chest, on their décolletage, you get bumps on your neck, you get bumps on the upper back, even the top of your arms, like pimples almost or boils. I spritz that Epsom salt and water and disinfects your body, helps clear up the pores so that the bumps. I haven't had bumps in a long, long time. I realize I can't put perfume. I used to, you get ready, you spray perfume. I cannot spray perfume on my body anymore because the perfume was giving me a reaction, giving me bumps, giving me all kind of stuff, and only like in my chest. If I spray perfume on my wrist, it doesn't bother me. So now I know I can't put certain products certain places. It gives me a bad reaction. I can't put certain things on my neck or the back of my neck. I can't use certain fabrics. Certain heavy fabrics were giving me a same thing. I don't know. That's just a story. But I put Epsom salt and water in my shower in a spray bottle, and if I have any bumps or something, you can just but not so much now because I guess I changed my diet. I'm not using certain products. I'm not using those kind of perfumes. So I don't have a problem. But just in case somebody's on the live or watching the replay, especially teenagers sometimes, um, that might help. The Epsom salt and water. And then you do that as part of your hygiene ritual. I'm eating some more grapes. Okay, so that's it for that, the gardening talk. And what else did happen? So yeah, so again, the clucks are coming this week. I'm not fully ready. I'm getting my stuff in order. Hopefully that can be resolved by Monday, end of day. 1 second here. Can you do body scrubs? Yeah, you can do body scrubs with sugar. You can do, some people use coffee grounds, and that's very good for you as well. People who have a lot of eczema had to kind of do those things because we couldn't find no relief. People use oatmeal to make masks and stuff. Yeah, I use all of that. I use a lot of oatmeal body wash, same thing because eczema. So you can use a name brand like Aveeno, but they have other no name brands, or people make their own. When you have young children with eczema and they can't stop scratching, and you're just trying to find a solution, yeah, that's what you end up doing because nothing can really resolve it, and they just keep scratching until they're bleeding. My cousin had it bad as a kid. I didn't have it bad as a kid. I got it as I was older. So I know that mine is definitely linked to food and keeping your organs clean, your liver clean and not your blood clean. That I don't have a problem. He got it because I don't know why. Um Summer's Eve I used to soak. Give me a second here. I used to soak half an hour in a tub with half a cup of Epsom salt and 2 caps of bleach. I did that, but not the bleach. We used Dettol. We used Dettol, and I still use Dettol. I live by Dettol. I have Dettol. I have in my shower. I have a bottle of Dettol and water. I have Epsom salt and water, and I'll that's you rotate between whatever mosquito bites, all kind of different things. Sometimes people have a reaction to a mosquito bite, and it's like, yo, your whole joint just swells up. But yeah, I we didn't use the bleach because the water is full of bleach anyways. But we used Dettol, and that was very good disinfectant. I love it. I love the smell of the Dettol. I spray it for no reason. I spray it in the car. I'm like washing my hands. People are like, are you using Dettol? I'm like, yep. In my purse, I got Dettol and water in my purse. I swear by that for the pandemic. I swear by it. If I need to spritz my face because I'm feeling it like dry in a hot day, I spritz the water with Dettol on my face. People are like, it's gonna go in your eye. No, it's not. You close your eyes. Hello, you close your eyes. You don't spray it in your eye. But G Mama used lots of oatmeal for her kid. Yeah, yeah. I'm telling you, when you have skin issues, it's very uncomfortable. Uncomfortable. Hey, Angela, I see you there. Very uncomfortable. But hopefully, you guys are gonna start growing some food soon. Hey, Shanna. Hopefully, you guys are gonna start growing some food soon. I'm gonna drop the link again because I've been here talking. If you want to come up and talk, I know you guys are working. Maybe you have a break now. Um, but man, and Epsom salt. Yeah, hold on. What does Blues say? Epsom salt. Your body appreciates the Epsom salt absorption. If you don't have time for a soak, I plug the tub, add Epsom salt, and stand in a while and shut. Yeah, it softens your skin. The Epsom salt. It helps you absorb. It just these are natural things you can do. But if you have skin problems, get a filter on your shower. I haven't had as much problems I haven't had problems in life in general, but last last year, I don't know what happened, but the eczema just all over the place. Places I didn't have eczema before. So I knew something was wrong. And the water was a problem, the bleach. It was burning my skin at some points. The food, I was eating a lot of junk food that time too, but something went left and yeah, I'm still paying for it now. So hopefully next month I can go away. I want to go away on vacation somewhere hot and just literally roll in the sand. I usually go on the beach and I roll in the sand and I scrub my skin with sand. People are like, "What are you doing?" Yeah. And I exfoliate all the dead skin and I in the salt water and hopefully that will clear up, the remnants of the eczema. Everything else is cleared up with diet and food and water and fruit and stuff, but my feet, you can see it on my feet. And I like to wear open toes. So it's kind of affecting my vanity right now. It's because I'm like, open toe shoes. So when you take an Epsom salt bath, do you take your plants with you? If you want company, yeah, take your plants with you. Yeah, and my soil sometimes, but yes, moderation. Don't be going and trying all these things and overdoing it. You're gonna wreck up the natural microbiomes in your soil. And you don't want to do that. Just add a little bit, see how it works, see if it helps, and then slow down. Don't be dumping salt in every week. That's ridiculous. Okay. So I dropped the link. Let me see my feed because there was something else that came up besides the lawsuit. So I'm going to record some videos today, some short ones, so you guys can see the shelf, not the shelf, the crops outside, and you can see the potatoes. And I might show the fig tree since I go into the garage, and I'll edit the video so you guys can just see those main points. But my test worked out. There's a lot of food that can survive in a harsh winter. And you have to remember, snow is a good insulator. So if you have a covering and snow is on top of it, it's actually like an insulator. That's why people live in igloos. It holds and retains the moisture and the heat. So if you do it properly, you can actually do it in a way that protects your plants. So we just got to be smarter, but also go back to some old technology. And snow is free over here, right? During the winter months, the snow is free. So if I can use that to my advantage, that's going to help me. I didn't do a good job this year, but the plants still survive. That shows you. So I soak in Epsom salt and baking soda to remove dead skin. Yep. And I wash my veggies in baking soda and vinegar and sometimes a little salt. So it's the same thing. Tree Rogi tropical baths. You can open a bathhouse with that name. Okay, so let me see the give me a second to find the what was in my feed. I don't know if you guys heard this, but maybe I should keep that for next week. Hold on, let me keep that for next week because that's going to be a longer. I can tell it's going to be a longer discussion. So let me save that one. and just go through what's on the feed. So Arkansas says here tornado 3 killed. Okay, so I know you guys are having some tornadoes going on right now, which are very, very violent. So hopefully everybody's okay in the community. Also, the Soil Family Expo is going on right now. So watch people's updates for that who are in the Soil Family, who are there going live and showing some clips. Also, in Canada, there's a Canada-wide recall of laundry products due to chemical hazard. Let me just a quick look at that. So Health Canada posted a second recall notification for a New York-based company called The Laundress in March 2023. They advised Canadians to check their laundry detergents and conditioners following the second product recall from an American plant-based cleaning company. Health Canada posted a Canada-wide recall for batches of laundry detergent, fabric conditioner, and household cleaners due to the risk of exposure of bacteria. Again, another cleaning company has a recall. This is from Vancouver News, but you can just Google or do a search for laundry detergent recall. So that's something that's going on here. I'm sure there's a recall in the States. I don't think it's just unless. Then again, different governing bodies, right? So it may not be recalled there, but it's recalled here. Heavy rain and tornadoes expected in the northeast today. Okay, winds is dangerous, man. Wind is very dangerous. Let me just scroll down. It's talking about. I'm also noticing on my feed a lot of information about chickens, which I mentioned, I think, to Fifi in a live this week. That I'm searching for a lot of chicken information and how to take care of chickens, and I've been searching for this for over a year because I've been, working on this for over a year. And a lot of the stuff on my feed this week is about bird flus and stuff like that. So I was kind of feeling anxiety, but then I watched another video saying, that's for really commercial growers. People in the backyard ain't going to have that really high level of exposure. You don't really have birds and geese and ducks from wild geese just coming to your backyard and hanging out. So it shouldn't really be an issue. But just to let you know, there's a lot of things that are out here to try to distract us and get us fearful and not wanting to move forward. And yeah. And I did see a dead goose was one on the road one day. And then I showed my sister, she missed it. So we went to get food, get gas. We came back that direction. She missed it again, but it was just laying there in the road. A lot of places in my area in terms of Ontario, Brampton, Whitby, all these different areas. They have been finding dead geese. They've been testing them, and it's bird flu. I don't know what bird flu, why it's so concerning. I'm not being obnoxious. I'm just saying if it happens every year, it's like a seasonal flu. It's a thing that happens. It's part of nature. It's nothing new. Why is it? I don't know. Why is it behaving the way that's behaving? And I was thinking about it. You guys can tell me what you think, especially those who have chickens and who know about farming. I think we've changed agriculture so much that the animals that we're raising really don't have any immune system of their own. And they're highly dependent on the products that we're giving them. And some of the products that we've been giving them have maybe stripped away their immune system over generations because we're constantly heavily involved in stuff. And the conditions that they live in also is a factor, and the stresses that they're under. That to me may be the root cause of all these numbers of the bird flu. Then if you have one incident of bird flu, they take care of the whole flock. They get rid of the whole flock. That may also be a bit extreme. If something has the ability to fight off something naturally, and it's part of nature, it's part of the circle of life, this flu that goes around, same as our human seasonal flu. I don't know why we're handling it the way we're handling it. I'm not sure if this makes sense. Hey, Virginia Bushcrafter, I see you there. Okay, you're gonna watch the replay. Okay, thank you so much. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think, Oh, and okay, I see. Okay, I missed that. The eye drops. Yes, the eye drops recall, and people went blind. And somebody I know back in the day, I haven't seen him in years, but we still work at the same company, but we're different departments now. We don't cross paths. He was like an optometrist kind of part time, and he's like, you shouldn't put drops in your eye, because I was having a very dry eye, and I was putting, those tears, liquid tears. He's like, you shouldn't do that, and it could ruin your eye. From then, so he's like, just take how you get those glass shot jars that you put water in, and you just put it in your eye. He's like, use actual water, like distilled water, spring water. You can put Epsom salt in there and rinse out your eye that way. He never recommended using those drops. And now to see that happening, it's yeah. So the eye drops for recall. If you guys don't know about that, check out that story. Natural tears. I used to use that heavily. And I know in the past I had to use a pink eye drop. I didn't have pink eye, but I had something that was bothering my eye and then didn't have any drops. So I just used the pink eye one because it's kind of all the same ingredients. Yeah. But I don't know what you guys think about the bird flu for the chickens. If you guys think that it's necessary to do it the way they're doing it, take care of the whole flock, sorry, not crop, the whole flock. Basically they cull all of them, and the farmer has no more birds, and you got to start from scratch. And this is something that happens every year. It's a seasonal thing. So why is it so devastating? And I think that the animals that we're raising don't have an immune system, and everything in life needs to have an immune system. And if we're always medicating everything, then what do we expect? I don't know for sure if this is the reason, but it seems like it. Let me chew my grape. They fear it coming to humans. The same way that the other thing came to humans, that they said wasn't done in the lab, but ended up being in the lab. I don't know. I'm just saying. They said things can't happen, but it did happen because they made it happen. For all we know, this has already been created in a vial somewhere, ready to be launched. If our immune system is working properly and the animal's immune system is working properly. And one more thing that just reminds me of an article. 1 second, let me go find it. Yep. Something came on my feed. Let me see if I can find it. Give me a second here. Because it's in line. I have so many things that I saved that I can't even keep track, but something that I saved this week on Instagram, I believe. Let me see if it's there. There's another animal plague, I call it plague, that is affecting animals. And I probably can't find it, but I'll mention it. Maybe somebody can look it up in their own time. And next week, I'll talk about it more, thoroughly in terms of there's some kind of bug or flu in animals. I think it's birds. If not birds, another animal. Maybe somebody heard about it. And it causes them to act crazy. And those animals end up having what they call no fear of humans. Did anybody else hear about that in their news this week? It makes them, unstable, unpredictable, behave in a violent way. And that animal has no fear because of this flu that's going around. They have no fear of humans. And I guess they're going to act violent. And I don't know if you guys used to watch that TV show called Zoo. I watched it, but I didn't watch all the way through. Hopefully, it's on Netflix. And basically, these scientists or somebody was going, around, and these animals were acting crazy. These animals were attacking humans and taking over the globe. It wasn't a sitcom. It was a TV series called Zoo, and there's a fungus blanking people in nursing homes and hospitals. I'm gonna have to but yeah, keep up to date with what's happening. And a lot of what's happening, I'm not gonna say for sure, but in my opinion, because with the whole nursing homes and stuff and hospitals and nursing homes are the most bacteria laden places on the face of the earth. They don't get cleaned like they used to. The cleaning staff is the most important staff in these institutions. And if there's not a good cleaning staff, and most companies don't want to spend the money that they should on proper cleaning. And okay, it's not called that, Mike, but it's probably like that. And the animals are, yeah, and it wasn't deer, it was something else. Was it deer? I don't know what's going on, guys, but I want to go back and watch that TV show called Zoo, because it seemed like the zoo show is happening in real life, and the animals are going crazy and doing all kind of foolishness. And this is a sign of the times, because we done so much foolishness in this earth, and now they're coming back to say, you know what? We're tired of you humans. We're tired of you people. Chronic wasting disease. Telling you, the animals are going, cuckoo, and they're lashing out against humanity. What I hadn't heard of that, some kind of something, guys. I'm gonna find it, because you know what I think. You know what? Hold on. I think I know where I put it. I think I emailed it to myself. Give me one more second. I find it, and then I'm gonna wind it up, because I'm here too long already. I have things to do, and you have things to do as well. I emailed the article to myself. Hold on, let me see my emails to myself. I need to put them in a folder, because I can't find them. See, I'm seeing a whole bunch of emails to myself, but I can't tell which one is which. I'm gonna have to find it, guys. I'm gonna find it, and next week I'm gonna talk about it, because yeah. But there's one more thing I'll talk about before I close off. Oh, that show? I only watched like the first season, so hopefully it's on Netflix, because now I'm feeling it was cat. You see, guys, go watch that show called Zoo. It must be on Netflix, or it must be on Apple Pay, or all them different platforms, because what we're seeing now seems to be about that the show there. Zoom turned 50. Mm-hmm. Hold on a second here. There's one thing I want to talk about before I go, and that is, I think I mentioned it last week, but I have the article here. Hold on a second here. Let me find it again, because now I lost it. I'm going to have to make a folder for the things that I emailed to myself, so I can find them. It's just in my inbox with the whole, okay, the Dirty Dozen. I don't always keep track of the Dirty Dozen, because, but I did notice something. So let me just have a little drink. And pull up that article, and then so we all know about the Dirty Dozen. The Dirty Dozen is crops that have high level of pesticides, and you don't want to eat those foods if possible, because sometimes even when you wash them, it still doesn't release, like, the pesticides. Some crops have thin skin, and it goes right through into the actual fruit. And then there's the Clean 15, which are foods that you don't have to buy organically, because the traditional ones are fairly okay, give or take. You take them with a grain of salt, because growing your own food is the best, but it's not always possible. Some people live in an apartment, they don't have a lot of land. They can grow greens in the house, but they can't get their heavy, berries and stuff. They have to buy them. So The list says, let me scroll down. So the Dirty Dozen, this is the new list as of 2023. It's most of the same stuff. Hey, Marlene. But some stuff is new, which is concerning because you have to make sure that you're not buying these things through the traditional means. You got to buy them organically because they're high levels of pesticides. So strawberries, number one. You should buy them organically. Spinach is on the list, I think, since last year. So spinach is on the list, and most of us buy spinach from the store. And spinach is hard to germinate, as you may have not noticed. Spinach is hard to germinate, so that's not always easy to grow, but definitely try. Kale, collard greens, and mustard greens are on the Dirty Dozen list. These are most of the greens that most of us eat. I think most people eat kale, collard, and mustard greens in some form or fashion. Those are all on the Dirty Dozen list. Those are things that you can either buy organically or grow them your own. Kale, collard, and mustards are very easy to grow, as we already mentioned. But mustard greens get a lot of bug attacks. So does kale and collard, but if you cover them with mesh, it's pretty much fine. Peaches are on the Dirty Dozen list. If you have a peach tree, take care of your peach tree and grow your own fruit. Pears, same thing. Nectarines are kind of like peaches, same thing. They're on the Dirty Dozen. Apples are on the Dirty Dozen. That is a bit surprising, but apples are on the Dirty Dozen, so you should buy those organically. I have an apple tree. I have access to an apple tree. They may have worms in them, guys, but yeah. Oh, Lord. I'll read that in a second. Grapes are on the Dirty Dozen list, and most grapes you cannot buy with seeds. They're seedless. That's also a problem. Bell and hot pepper. So bell peppers and all your hot peppers are on the Dirty Dozen list. Those are things that I eat heavily. Cherries. I don't eat cherries that often, but I have a cherry tree in my parents' yard. Blueberries and green beans. Green beans surprised me, but green beans are on the Dirty Dozen list. You need to buy them organically or grow your own. And beans are not always the most prolific in terms of growing for a family of 4 or 5. 1 or 2 people, you can grow a lot, but 5 people, you have to grow a lot of beans. If you do grow them, freeze them, preserve them, because it's on the Dirty Dozen list. The Clean 15. I'm scrolling down to see if it's on this article. Okay, the Clean 15 is here, but let me read what Mike said first. So all your leafy greens are on the Dirty Dozen list. That's what I'm trying to share with you guys. So if you think, I can buy regular kale, no. Because if it's on the list, that means there's a high level of pesticides. And of course they're spraying them because those ones have the most bugs. The worms go on them, lay their eggs, the butterflies, and then lay their eggs, and the worms, and they can't be bothered. They can't be bothered to cover them with mesh. They can't be bothered to go around and spray them with vinegar and water or something natural. It's too much work for a commercial grower, and they're not going to do it. And part of the problem is us, because we will not buy stuff with holes in them. So we are also the problem. But what did Mike say? There's also a brain-eating amoeba. Oh, Lord, amoeba. And a prion protein that makes you cray-cray. Earth's trying to get rid of us. You think it's a joke? I think they're trying to get rid of people. So I'm trying to be as good as possible so that the nature will see, I'm a good person, and keep me around. That the bugs won't come for me and the animals won't come for me. The animals are going mad. I'm telling you. So watch that show called Zoo. I'm telling you. I'm going to go watch it again from the beginning. Now, the Clean 15, I'm going to read, then I'm going to call it a day because I think it's been 2 hours, right? 2 hours and a bit. Sorry for the chewing, guys, but I got to keep hydrated. Okay, Clean 15. Let me finish chewing this grape, though. My God, it's so juicy. All right. This show's so unprofessional. I'm chewing, I'm drinking, anyways, sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Clean 15. These are things that you can buy regular, does not have to be organic. So they say avocados, sweet corn, but people think that sweet corn's a hybrid, so it's up to you if you want to eat corn or not. Pineapple, I guess because of the thick skin. Onions. Onions are so easy to grow, guys. So try to grow your own onions. Like you can literally drop. It's not hard to grow onions, but sometimes it's hard because you have to have a big bag because you have a big family. And papaya. You can buy traditional papaya, and papaya seeds have good detoxifying benefits. Look it up yourself. You can swallow the seeds whole, not often though, and it helps clean parasites from your system. Look it up first. This is not medical advice. Again, look it up yourself. But there's natural things to use to clean your body without having to go into chemicals. Sweet peas frozen, you can buy, is clean. So they say asparagus is clean. Honeydew melon is clean. Kiwi is clean. Maybe because it's grown somewhere else, it's not grown in North America. Cabbage is clean. I guess because it's wrapping all of their making a head, and all the chemicals can be peeled off of the outer layers. Maybe. Mushrooms are clean. Mangoes are clean. Again, I don't think mangoes are grown here. That's probably why. Sweet potatoes are clean. Watermelons, I guess thick skin as well. And carrots. I wonder if beets, because if carrots are clean, shouldn't beets be clean, like root crops? I don't see radishes or turnips or anything mentioned on here at either way, so I'm assuming they're still clean. I think root crops don't really, they may absorb the chemicals from the soil, but I don't think you're actually spraying them. Carrots, it says here, there's a new addition on this list, the clean list. Carrots are replacing cantaloupe. So carrots are now clean. Cantaloupe was clean. And I don't think I saw cantaloupe on the dirty dozen list. No. So maybe it's neutral. So it's no longer, it's on the clean list, but it's not on the dirty dozen list either. So that's the list. Check it out. That may help you do your shopping in terms of figuring out what things you want to buy organically, what things that you can actually grow. And for sure, all the clean stuff, a high majority of them are tropical stuff. Papaya, pineapple. I can't grow avocado really here. I don't think, honeydew melon I can grow, but seasonally. Mangoes is tropical. Watermelon, if you're in a warm climate, you can grow it all year round. Me only in the summertime. So, there's a linkage. So tropical fruits are highly clean. They're probably imported. And one more thing I want to say on that topic. I think I was watching Yaki Awaken or somebody along those lines. And once you go into that rabbit hole, you can't come out. And all the food that comes here, I even saw it on a Netflix documentary about food and when they import food. And all of it is X-rayed or scanned with something when it comes into the US, especially Canada probably as well. But most of our imports are from the US. So anything crossing those borders is X-rayed. So something could be natural, grown organically, grown cleanly, and it goes through those rays, and now you've basically killed the enzymes. Maybe not all of the enzymes, but a lot of people believe you've killed the enzymes, and all the nutrients and all the good in that produce is now gone. And you're eating basically what's equivalent to cardboard nutrient-wise, but you're still eating, like avocados are imported. A lot of them are, some of them are grown in the US. Things are nice and healthy, but they become sterile because they're being scanned when they come into the country. So you have to also factor that in as well. Even though you're buying things that are quote unquote clean, they may be dead in terms of the nutrients. Let me just read the rest of the chat and I'm going to wrap it up. Let me scroll back up because I'll scroll back up to there. Let me see here what I missed. I read a paper written by a medical examiner. He had found while doing autopsies, there were people who were affected by parasites. This during life. Let me scroll down. They have been diagnosed with things like lupus, there's fibromyalgia, and many other autoimmune issues. Yeah, there's definitely a linkage between that and parasites. And because we're not a culture that does our cleansing, like back home, every year you have to deworm. Your parents deworm you before you go back to school. You get all these cleanses and bitters to clean out your, the stuff, and you pass out the stuff before you go back to school because nobody can really afford doctors care there because everything costs money. So you go to the doctor when you need to and something is really wrong. So there's a lot of emphasis on prevention. But let me keep reading what you're saying here. He also stated that there's a single cell amoeba. I keep calling it amoeba, which feeds off of us, great damage, and could take our lives. Yet it is going undiagnosed because doctors do not recognize it as a parasite when they correct. Correct. I've been watching a lot of people on the gram and they talk about parasite cleanse. I'm feeling itchy just reading it now. I'm feeling itchy just sorry, itchy. As for parasites, there is only a handful of them they test for. These issues are being caused by parasites that are not tested for. There are compounds made of wormwood, cloves, and black walnut hull. Do some research about it. It's pretty interesting and horrifying. I was reading something recently talking about clove and different stuff to take. And that's why I've been, whoops, I hit my mic, sorry. That's why I've been changing my diet and eating certain things because it's like you're doing a slow cleanse and a slow clean out and get your organs and stuff clean. But everybody needs to do a parasitic cleanse because there are things that we eat that are good for us, but they may contain some parasites. This is a point. There's bugs on everything. Even if you wash stuff, there's stuff on everything, inadvertently on stuff. It only stands to reason that we live in this in earth and we're going to get exposed to stuff. It could be in the water. It could be unintentionally consumed. A lot of people say that's why they don't eat meat because it's full of parasites and worms. And that probably is true. The fish has parasites, seafood. You have to do a cleanse. And if you're not cleansing often enough, they're going to build up and take over your body. And I was reading something that a lot of the cravings that we have for things, it's the parasite sending messages to your brain to go eat that chips and chocolate and whatever because that's what they want. They're craving the carbs and all that processed stuff, and you wondering why you can't overcome these cravings and these things that you're having. You're full of parasites. And then they show videos of people being like, oh, gross. One person had one in their eye. They had to pull out this long worm from their eye. The doctor was pulling out something from somebody's nose and ugh. Yeah. And that's what's in our bodies. Guy recently got it from using tap water. Yes, I just read that last night on Instagram. Somebody was swearing by the neti pot, and the doctor said, because on the instructions it tells you use water that has been boiled in the kettle and cooled down, or use distilled water or whatever. It says that, and people think that you can just use tap water. No, there's parasites, and then you're putting them in your sinus cavity, right in your head, like near your. Anyways, do your research. You have to follow the instructions. Do not use tap water for your nasal flush. Don't do it. Let me see. And then people who have leaky gut, they're saying that those things are spreading throughout your body. So they were in your digestive tract, and then they move throughout your body and end up in your brain and other organs. And you wonder why certain organs aren't functioning properly, or there's a blockage. It may not be like clots or stuff like that. It could be a parasite that's, blocking the flow of blood or fluid or whatever. Anyways, do your research, guys. I think that some of you and some of us need to do some cleanses and clean out your body, and you'll see some improvement with your health. I'm just going to keep going, and then I'm going to close it off. Guy recently got it from, tap water. So I read that one already. No problem. I think I got what you said. Blues Clues. I still cleanse like I would back home every 6 months. Yeah, that's more than reasonable. That's very good. You have to do a cleanse. Yep, parasites. Parasites cause a lot of problems. There's even one parasite that I read this lady was talking about, and I couldn't, and it makes people promiscuous. The parasite. It makes people like loosey goosey, high sex drive, and you're just out here, and then it's passed through intercourse, or and yeah, and it makes your desire higher than it normally should be because a parasite is wants to infect as many people as possible. So the parasite, I don't know the name of the actual one she was talking about. I have to go back to her video. It makes people permit. I'm like, what? Yep, so maybe you have parasites. Yes, wormwood herb kills many parasites. Yep, and the papaya seeds and even the clove I heard. So yeah, I need to um I need to get back to doing my season. Yes, you do. The old way that our parents taught us, we get modernized, but it's the hey, Tori's brain. I see you there. I'm wrapping it up. I've been talking for 2 hours. I'm going to come off the screen now. I eat meat, so I cleanse it to keep. Yes, exactly. And I know you grow your own meat, but still, you have to. You just don't know. Um, yeah, it's gross. Sorry, guys, but if you want better health or you're having some problems and autoimmune and your doctor can't help you, do a cleanse. They're only practicing medicine. It's a lot of guesswork. Only you know how you feel and that something is wrong. Yeah, there's a difference between cleansing and, as Fifi's saying, you can't cleanse too often because you don't want to get rid of the healthy bacteria. But if you're doing a cleanse, there's you do it when you're supposed to and you do it under medical supervision. Don't be going off and doing things again loosey goosey, willy nilly, and then you mash up yourself. You talk to your doctor about it first. You get proper medical instruction. Another way to cleanse your body, which you should be doing regularly, is just regular fasting. That's why I practice intermittent fasting. I eat my breakfast after a certain time. Today I'm hungry, but I haven't eaten anything but grapes and I had some green tea. And I start eating probably now is when I'm going to start eating. So I've given my body since I've woken up this morning till now time to naturally cleanse and cells to do what they need to do. I'm not getting up and filling my face with food, carbs, meat, all kind of stuff. No, I break my fast down with fruit. Even that lifestyle change can help your body remain healthy and clean and promote the good bacteria. I also take probiotics, prebiotics, all the different biotics to keep my digestive system working properly and putting the good back into my body. You can go on a bone broth, you don't have to always do this elaborate cleanse. Maybe you need to, or maybe do smaller cleanses and work your way up to doing a big cleanse because maybe you just, it's too much right now. Um, you need to do that. We carry a parasite called fluke. It takes all that is good. Our bottom gets used to only getting bad. Our body, okay. Therefore, it starts to crave back. Correct. So you have to starve out these parasites sometimes by fasting and flooding your body with good nutrients, things that you don't quote unquote like, but you need to flood yourself with good nutrients. A lot of the problems that I'm seeing and I'm realizing, I'm like, oh, it could have just been a parasite. Then you start going to the doctor, getting medication for this, that, the third, and it kills the good stuff. It flares up the bad stuff. It causes you more side effects, and before you know it, you're spiraling into the. Maybe just do a cleanse, change your diet. Yeah, no problem, no problem. I figured out, I, for the most part, what you're saying. Give me a second here to catch up. What in the world? High drive parasite. I don't know what's affecting. Maybe not your brain. Maybe it affects your sexual organs. But I'm telling you, I want to find that again, guys. I'll find the lady. And I'll share it next week because she researches parasites for a living. This is what she does for a living. And she says there's a one parasite that causes people to be promiscuous. I couldn't believe. I said, what? What? Hold on. So again, what does everyone use to cleanse? It depends what you want to do. Again, talk to your doctor. People take bitters to cleanse. They have certain teas. You can go to the health food store and they will sell you a cleanse, which could um, combine either bitters, teas, or sometimes herb in capsules. And then you're supposed to, when you're cleansing, eat properly. You cannot go and eat fast food when you're doing a cleanse, and lots of water and lots of juice. I sometimes go on a juice cleanse where I just drink juice that I made myself, carrots, beets, apples, green juices, ginger shot, all that kind of stuff for 24 hours, maybe 3 days. It depends. But you have to I don't want to really say what we each do different things for based on our cultural backgrounds, but go to a health food store and talk to a professional and see what they'll tell you. They'll ask you about maybe things that you're experiencing. Maybe you want to do a gentle cleanse. They'll guide you through what you can do. They'll recommend stuff, which could be very affordable, like teas and bushes. If you want something more expensive, then you can go up, the food chain with tinctures and stuff like that. But talk to somebody who can guide you if you've never ever done a cleanse before. But if you want to do this a free cleanse is fasting. Stop eating food for a certain time, a window, intermittent fasting, or actual do a fast, a 24-hour fast, then maybe do a little bit longer. Again, not medical advice. Talk to your doctor and find out what is going to work for you and what's safe for you based on your current health issues. Pharmaceutical medicine, we can get info about what is wrong with us, but the prescribed treatment is a drug our bodies have to filter out. That's correct. I found a 150-pound parasite in my house. My brother-in-law is staying for. I don't. You're not a very nice host because he's a parasite. Well, at least you know he's leaving, right? Cat scratch fever is real. Pregnant women shouldn't change. Yes, I was that. You're bringing up everything that's been coming to my feed this week, Mike. That's why some people they don't, even if you're not pregnant, they should not be sleeping with your animals. And I know a lot of people like to sleep with their animals, and they said that because the parasites jump off the animal, especially cats and dog, and jump onto you, and you're cuddling up with your dog and your cat, and then in your bed, and they come in. No, 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 no. Your animal must sleep in their own bed, and you sleep in your own bed. And the litter box, same exactly. Handling their stuff, their litter box and their waste. Yep. Pregnant women are higher risk, but those things are being transferred to us. It's just not deadly because don't be sleeping with your animals. Come off of that train there. Yes, my cleanse is cultural, so I won't be sharing because you have to I don't want to share, but there's certain things that we can say this is good for that, that's good for that. We're not recommending it. You have to do your own research. Go to the health food store, they can help you for sure. They have different products I've bought and cleanse from them as well. So I got to starve my parasite brother-in-law. We're talking about parasites that are in your actual body. I don't think treating your family, but then again, if you don't like him, do whatever you want. Who am I to say? Maybe he's not a nice brother-in-law. Tree Rogi is not a good host. Don't go to his or her house for oh my goodness. So yeah, that's it for me. Well, I'll touch on parasites again next week. We've been talking about health for like over a year now, at different times. But drop your seeds. For those of us who didn't drop our seeds yet, drop your seeds. Grow your food. If you're new to gardening, just keep it simple. Lettuce, beans, tomatoes. If you can't drop seeds, go to your nursery and buy some starts and plant them. There's nothing wrong with that. to start your gardening journey, and then you'll learn how cheap it is to grow your start from seeds. Tomatoes, you can cut the suckers off. That will make you a whole new plant. You'll start to learn and expand. And it's a wonderful world of gardening, health and wellness, prepping, dibble dabbling in 2A. It's a whole lifestyle. Growing your food is very important nowadays, whether you are a quote unquote gardener or not. All the chemicals, weather problems, interference, water pollution coming from the sky, all of these things are affecting our health, and we cannot trust the food system. We cannot trust it. They are about making money, and they are not about promoting health and wellness. If you live in an apartment, you don't have to have a lot of space. Go on Amazon, check out Erica, my Fly Family. She's always dropping coupons for Amazon. Please check them out. Get yourself a hydroponics unit and grow some food. Lettuce, I have lettuce growing, different kinds. I had endive, I had kale. I had herbs growing for the herb garden. It's not hard. I had some challenges, but if you use a standard Aero garden, all the trouble has been solved for you. They've built it into the fertilizer, into the sponges. You'll have a higher success rate. Buy a kit. I can't recommend it anything more. It's really changed my gardening and expanded my growing. Let me just quickly go through to end it off. I don't want nothing in my bed with me that play with that girl. My dog is lucky to be in my house, but she belong in the mudroom. Sorry, I'm exactly. Animals stay outside. We don't live. She's lucky exactly because it's winter and you're no, son. We had a cat, and the cat no say. She used to come on my bed when I was sleeping and I would fling her off in the night. No, 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 no. And people think, oh, it's me. No, they will transfer parasites to you and your children, and you're wondering why your kids they have parasites. Anyways, I'm not going there any further. This location I'm at sucks. I found a few of the cheap seeds mixed in with the burpee seeds, but it's all flowers. Okay, that's what happens. People like Mike take the whole shelf, or Mike's wife take the whole shelf, and there's nothing left. Or Miss Renaissance takes the whole shelf. All right, guys. So this is not medical advice. You have been advised several times to talk to your own doctor and herbalist. And yes, let me just go to the last comment. Hey, crossover paranormal. I'm closing it off. And there's one more thing. I'm propagating peppers, working great. I've only done tomatoes and herbs before. I have never done peppers, so you need to share that, Mike. I've never done peppers. Also, the hunt for good seeds is real. Yep. So next week we'll touch on the parasites. We'll talk on the food, and there's something else I want to talk about animals, but we'll talk about that next week because it's gonna be a bigger talk. I don't want to do that now. I want to close it off. Plant food that can store with a little requirements. If you can be prepared for a shift, better be prepared and not neat. Exactly. Grow your own greens. Mustard greens, kale, collard greens are on the Dirty Dozen list. And you don't want those chemicals. Those greens are the most nutrient dense greens that we can get, especially in the sprout form. They're very good, even help fight cancer in some cases. And if those are full of chemicals, you're canceling all the benefits. So please make an effort to grow those foods. Have a wonderful day, wonderful weekend. I'm not sure if I'll be live next week because I'm waiting to hear what's happening with the friend's family member, if they're going to transition. We'll see. Have a blessed weekend. I'm going to be running around getting those clucks this week. Remember, be kind to yourself and be kind to others. Check out, I'm going to be dropping a video or two this week, so check them out when they drop. And I will be dropping either the last or second last update for the WIG. I want to just finish that series, even though I wasn't really in it properly, but I want to drop that last so you can see what happened, and that will help some of you with your indoor gardening. And please drop some seeds. Those of you who kind of feeling like lazy or didn't feel like dropping seeds, don't follow me. I'm going to drop my seeds this week. You need time for them indoors. Your hot peppers need time. So you got to start them now. If you're in my zone, you need to start your peppers this week if you're going to expect to get a harvest. All right, guys, take care. I'll leave it on running for a few minutes. Type hashtag urban to drop your links. Please connect with people. If you like their content, then check them out. But we don't pressure nobody to force people to sub over here. So just check people out and see if you like what they have, and then join the family. Take care.